Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to another episode of Beyond Bilica. Now, as we start this session, I'd like us to just imagine darkness, the void, the absence of air, but full of drift, nevertheless. The phlogiston winds kicking up as ripples come across these faint purple blankets that start to encroach on either side of our view here as we're zooming through the void past dark meteors that barely pick up amongst the void. Um, these kind of undulating purpley emissive blankets start to bound our view as if we are sliding underneath bed sheets, kind of crawling between the places in between. And as we kind of find ourselves zooming through this endless expanse, we find a point where these crackling, emissive blankets seem to click together in a beam of light, a sort of light, somewhat of a moon, I guess you could say, that is we kind of start drawing closer towards. As we get closer here, we see Bilica from beyond, and we zoom in and see that there are various ships of all spoken sizes, many made of everdrift, but others clad in various types of metal, all kind of coming in and out of our big, vast city here. And this torus shape city surrounds the as its crystalline forms gleam light out into the void, with this kind of scarf of water, the source, coming around it and raining down onto the farmlands below one of the areas of Bilica here. And as we kind of get close enough to get under the hood of the giant progress tower that kind of is the most prominent edifice from afar, we find ourselves zooming in on the adventure docks as several more opulent-y looking ships are kind of coming in and out to a very bustling set of docks that is the widest docks that Bilica has. Being the tourist that it is, every spelljammers can dock on seemingly all sides of this great expanse. But we are sailing in over here-ish, if that works. Where we see various larger ships kind of docking and people milling about. And there's a bunch of colorful cast of characters here as we're zooming into the Adventurers Guild kind of neighborhood. For example, we see near the docks here, a tortoise-like humanoid approaches an albino dragonborn. It's like, hey, Ragnar, thanks for paying for the fare back there. I'm almost out of gems as he kind of taps his little wristband, and the other one's like, no problem, Shelly. We are the Team Star Goddess now, aren't we? Cecilia can make up some stupid names, huh? But dude, I love your ferocious rages, man, but you need to know when to play defense as well, okay? And then maybe you won't break as many axes in those key moments like that. Sorry, sometimes I just get really passionate, you know? Hey, but maybe you could make me a better axe with all that artificing you've been studying. Already got some ideas in the works, buddy. But hey, Dawn, look me in the eyes. I've seen the way you and Cecilia look at each other. As her cousin, if you want my blessing, you have to show me that you're going to treat her like a princess, okay? Princess Cecilia, okay? Wait. This isn't our story. Where's our story? Let's look around here. Just a few streets source side of this, maybe. Uh, yes, the soft beating of Hutar's drum kind of comes through the one of the uh, windows here. The third story window of Bunks and Trunks, the hostel that's over yonder. Hmm. As we kind of zoom in here through the open shutter of the window here, um, we find an interesting cast of characters inside in this interesting third story room that is on the layer of where the gravity of Bilica starts to become void drift, as there are some bunks, hammocks above, and furniture on the ceiling, while also some standard double bunks on the floor. And kind of we see the door open and um, uh, a cast of characters, all battered and bruised, uh, finally finding their way into some sense of home as uh, Theo does some bandaging of wounds and things, and we find ourselves zooming in on what becomes some sort of a circle here as a short rest is started. Yeah, Tyler, what do we see in this room here? I don't think we can hear him. Let's make sure he's got his himself unmuted.
Well, uh, is are we joining post last session or at the very end,
At the very
slightly
end of
before
last
the very
session,
end?
take
Okay.
it take it from where you were. Yes.
As as Argus has finished uh his short wisdom, um, the whole party sort of looks around with dejected faces, um, realizing that if they want to get through all their struggles, and if they're going to make it through the next couple days alive, they're all going to need to work with each other. They're all going to need to work together. Um, as Argus starts to put away his tentacular, he uh, doesn't necessarily pack it anywhere, but sort of gently sets it to the side. Maybe it's slightly floating in the air. It's just above his head. Um, he looks over and says, "Well, anyone want to hear a bedtime story?"
Hell yeah.
Or let's hear it.
Sure. You see even Arizo, who was just healed by Theo, kind of perks up a little bit and goes and sits down next to Iniko and um uh tries to look not like he was just unconscious.
Argus begins. The tapestries shed chords, words etched in string. Cathedral of quests, a grand doorway swings. To the test time, he zooms away, flying higher and higher, above the mystical fray. Inspired by free beer, now what happens here? Ripped from the fray, caught a friendly fay, landed in supremacy, found another friend, I think. On the second day, as they rose from the dead, Argus gave a shout. From the thunderous pose, he rocked those without. Zombie pinball sent corpses flying, and Mookhs, the murdered, just kept on dying. Putting life to the light, Argus cried to the fight. A small, shattered, vibrant companion. Special delivery, a pleasant skullduggery, but too late to offer a hand in. Taking the reins, Argus valiantly slayed, the monsters beguiling their path. Finally served with a calm healing word, he and the murdered one took their rest. On the third day, with a tiring resolve, Muukhs followed their wish. After death twice cheated, they again threw their chips. Argus' second brief companion uttered under its breath, "There lies but one path, the under rail for you to egress." Silence returned in one fell swoop. Before the loose group of strangers, the puppets stooped, splitting apart by air and by rail, no chance for a rest on the adventurer's trail. On the fourth day, to cadence of ties, the three skirted along, the cart chanting a chilling mechanical song. From the canopy above of mineral hue, dropped a menacing mantle to strangle the crew. Besieged by the unsightly creature of dark, Iniko, unable to scream, nearly fell victim to the Snidarian horror before her comrades were able to swing. At long last, a dim peace gave them time to recover, but raised was the fur on their backs when a crash sent the ceiling tumbling over the overused under-rail tracks. Clearing a keyhole just big enough for a certain cat fellow to crawl, they learned 'twas a funky, fun guy farmer which caused their cave-in cabal. Joined by another, the most salient of the four, Argus likes the way this one took in his ride, laid before them a plan to flee the under horror, to be quite cozy in bed before 9. Up the stairs the mist parted. Eagerly they waited for a chance to get started. On the fifth day, my reputation precedes me. What a convenient character I've become. To think that so many Loxodons could spring forth from one, the party of 4, quite the snore. Was not at first amused. Once given a truth they'd rather hear, I poured them out a tune. But at long last, Argus couldn't pass up the chance to follow the crew. Once more he'd join a party of 4, and out the door they flew. So the sixth day, on the eve of the trials of the monks of Meaning massacre, the bub flew from the tankards, casks, flasks, and decanters. No stranger to the dangers of drinking and fun, Argus downed his fair share of Bilican rum. So the doldrum and hubbub of the death compensations did little to from his drunken stupor awake him, till off went a hand a stranger's note of time passing brought Argus quite quick to his wits, and came crashing. This ancient traveler dubbed Argus in a manner so bold that he had but 2 weeks past was markedly surreptitiously old. The young child Theo had but yesteryear been dropped in by the Loxodon so charmingly near, and Argus remembered the portrait he saw heralding an Argus in the Adventurer Guild's wall. To his new friend, Argus revealed his gift held so tightly, and to his old friend, Theo cheered, my, quite mightily. The previous night's pleasantries had caught up to our hero, and he excused himself to the powder. But as his stomach churned, he furiously turned from kneeling mess to mighty inferno. The clock struck 12, another fell from above, dousing Argus's fiery complexion. The new pathfinder reined in, white fur in his skin, and they shared in a brief introspection. Arizo, a fellow from the Shadowland plane, a domain of mysterious horrors, seems quite out of place, all that fur on his face, but was content from hero to fallen. On the 7th day, trouncing through the streets to Theo's bazaar, Thaddeus the Grum defender runs far, hounded by the scum of the Shadowland's rim. 2 in our party escape by the hair on their skin. Now enchanted in the docks by the adventuring hall, he flirts up a red-headed elf woman so tall. Hutar, what a lad, takes sensible offer, and Argus adopts Theo like a well-meaning father. But none were prepared for the drama that followed, the ancient ghost Zana escaping death's shadow. But for a moment to see the sun that was lost, descended through the wind in a cursed red frost. Unsure what to do, but tired as dust, the weary adventurers laid free in a hotel at dusk. And finally, the eighth day, on the day of yester, when the prince turned to jester, in a gale of mischief and dust, betrayed the sword of the great Tadius Lord, the fugitive of red blood and dust. Huddled in cowls with scars and scowls, the party appended two members, and dropped to the floor with no settle to score. This wisdom painfully remembered. Ne'er under the dark of the moon had such a sweet spice. Sorry. Ne'er under the dark of the moon had a sound so sweet, spiced so bitter a tune.
Mhm.
Ah,
Wow.
That reminds me of when you used to tell me stories back in the day, Argus, or I guess when you will tell me stories in the future. I'm not sure.
When will I tell you stories?
In my, well, to me, it was only maybe a couple months ago, but to the people around us here, it was many years ago, but to you, it's sometime in the future.
Well, I'll tell you stories when I've told them to you already.
I'm looking forward to
And I'm looking forward to remembering.
it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, as you think to yourself, Theo, you do remember that Argus tends to use the passage of days as kind of ways to snippet stories together, but is usually uses them more in a metaphorical way than the actual exact time, as you know that several of those things all happened just within, the past day or so. Is currently sometime in the fourth of Delphi at the moment. Um, with that song of rest so eloquent, everyone can gain the benefits of the short rest there. But I leave the floor open as we begin talking about short resting, on whether we are going to do watches, um, and how we're going to lick our wounds and get our spell slots back and the like. I will start off by saying Arizo uh, kind of nudges Iniko uh, uh, a little bit, um, and says, "Hey, Iniko, I noticed you also managed to acquire some of the evidence back there, um, from the defense rest, some papers flying or other things. And I was just thinking it might be best, since uh, I'm trying to keep a low profile, for me to stay here uh, and look through some of those documents. Would you mind me keeping them all in one place?"
Oh, um, I guess not. Here. Yeah, I just found them lying around, and with everything flying, it seemed best to, scoop them up so they didn't get lost in the fray. And I
Hmm.
will give them papers, for the perfume case. The-
Oh, this case was there as well, huh? Can I take this also? Yeah? Awesome.
yeah, this was everything I pulled from the room.
Cool. Okay. Well, uh,
I think also after Argus finishes his story, Theo's going to turn to Iniko and Mooks and say, "So you were doing adventuring with Argus before this, or?" And then turns to Argus and just, I don't know, just kind of trying to piece together the pieces.
hmm Yeah, man, that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
So it was wait, it was a long
So,
time ago. Like, I'm sorry, time is really weird for me. Like a few days ago for you, or like years
A few
ago for
days.
you? Oh, okay, okay,
A long
cool.
time ago, as in last week. A lot's happened
Gotcha.
since then.
last week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been I think it's been crazy for a lot of people in Bilica these days. Someone's in the air.
Hmm.
Or with the what's it called? The thing that we all fell out of. Travel network. Help me out, Zach.
Testine?
Yeah,
Un
intestine exploding.
yes.
Yeah, that's and the methods coming through. I don't think that's normal. Um, which by the way, Tad, how are you doing?
Uh, I'm not doing well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It'd be like that.
Well, uh, I'm good. I really gotta take some rest here, but I I'm apparently, as we heard, there's some sort of bounty on my head, and I'd be grateful if a couple people stayed up, had a watch or two, if you know what I mean. But I'm gonna be up here in this top corner hammock bunk. Thanks for the assist back there, Theo. Yeah.
You got it. I can take watch too if people need to rest.
I didn't do much fighting, so I don't mind staying up.
So we'll be so to take a little moment out of the role play here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna if we're doing watches, we're gonna do 3 watches of 3 hours each. During those 3 hours, you can do nothing and have a clean perception check. Or if you want to work on a work session or something or advance some sort of specialization, be it mind mend, etching, any of those types of things, you can do some crafting or who knows what you want to do with that time. You can work on that as well in that 3 hour period of watching, but you'll be at disadvantage on your perception or watch, I guess, check. Um, but yeah, but also certain characters might want to be on watch with other characters just to talk to them about something in a little more private setting. So, um, yeah, if we could figure out who's on which watch, it seems like, um, yeah, we'll see.
Wait, sorry, is this for long rest or short rest?
Well, we just short rested,
Right.
but now we're there's people that are wanting to long rest,
Gotcha. Okay.
Arizo being one of them. So, yeah.
I'm kind of banged up from earlier at 12 HP. So I would like to rest first.
Okay.
Normally, I would gladly volunteer to stand guard because that's something I'm very good at.
Mhm.
Yeah, no worries. I understand. I'm happy to do first watch. I definitely will need to rest at some point, but
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Um, cool.
Who's
So,
heading up to the boat to sleep? And who's staying up with me?
so it seems like we have 2 people down to do watches. We need at least 3 people to do.
And I can do a watch.
Okay.
Argus is already snoring.
So I'm seeing Theo first, and then Iniko, and then
Ted can do watch, but he's kind of out of it.
got it. Okay.
also quick question. Was that an actual song of rest and do I get to roll an extra D6 for the
Yes.
short rest
Well,
you took?
I mean, we're about to take a long rest, so
But since I'm doing first watch, it does matter for me.
mm.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe someone
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
to do
You
first
get
watch
an
then.
extra D6.
Cool. I rolled on my hit die and on the extra D6, I rolled a 1 on both.
No.
Nice.
I'll be all
Oh.
right though. It's okay.
Nice.
Also, feel free to wake up Argus whenever, but he's already passed out.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Um. So yeah. So I mean, Tad, if you want to take a watch as well, it could be cool to kind of split up into pairs of 2, so that we can have a little interpersonal time. Is there anyone, Theo, that you would want to be on watch with, or Argus? Are you? you're passing out.
Yeah, I
So
feel I
let's have Tad and Theo be on watch first here, and then we'll go with Iniko, maybe Iniko and Argus or something, and then Ethan, something like that. We'll see what happens. Cool. So as everyone beds down here and kind of has this moment of rest, I don't know, Theo, tell us what you're thinking about here. And Tad, you don't have your bathing setup that you normally do to keep your skin, at the right complexion, and it's definitely a little bit irritating, and I think it keeps you up a little bit as you're there talking with Theo.
in terms of uh logistics, I think Theo would like to work on a mind mend work session.
Awesome.
Uh,
Yeah. What are you
can he
gonna?
talk while he's doing that,
Yeah,
or
yeah, you can. What are you doing to advance your mind melding skills?
I think Theo is kind of like the hotel is made of wood, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things in Bilica are made of Everdrift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Theo is kind of going around breaking and then fixing things and just kind of testing out using his magic on the various wooden objects and walls in the room.
Yeah.
Maybe tries a little bit in the zero G area on the ceiling too, just to see how that goes.
Yeah, give
Um,
me give me a Arcana check
cool.
as you're doing this before you take your yeah.
No,
Um
17.
17. With a 17, you definitely feel like, this is a little bit of a hoity-toity area, and even though this is maybe more rundown than others, hostile in the area, there does seem to be, you can sense some kind of magically wardy nature to things.
Hmm.
You're not an etch or anything, but there might be kind of uh defenses to make sure that buildings, stay the way that they are. But with 17, these little tiny movements that you're doing seem to be totally viable. Um, and you're able to kind of just, advance your sense of Everdrift as, you learned a little bit from school and all, but really the past several days out in the void have kind of made you realize how important these skills can be. Um, so yeah, how does the interaction go as you're talking to Tad there, and then I'll look up the check because I want to make sure we do this right of how you get your skills.
Cool.
Tad,
Yeah.
are you gonna be trying to do anything to advance your twineness?
Not
Maybe.
really. I'm just kind of trying to assess the people in the room.
Got it. Okay.
I think the first thing Theo says to Tad is probably as Theo discovers the ward, uh, and he's trying to when he's first trying to figure out whether or not he's going to be able to get through it or not.
Hmm.
He turns to Tad and he's like, "You're like from here, right? From Bilica?
Yes, I've lived here my whole life.
Do you know? Are you an etch by any chance, or do you know anything about wards?"
Or glyphs. Yeah.
No,
Ah, all right. Well, there seems to be something on the building here, and I think I can get through it. But yeah, what have you ever been on a ship or anything?
no. I've only been in Bilica my entire life.
Wow, it's kind of cool out there. Well, also very, very scary. We had to fight a giant spider not long ago. It was like, I don't know. I was gonna recommend trying going out on a ship, but maybe I can't in good conscience recommend going out there. I don't know.
I'm not an adventurer like you. I'm a, I'm a practitioner of the law.
When Tad says not an adventurer like you, Theo takes a step back for a second. He's like, "Huh, I'm an adventurer. Oh, cool." And he smiles a little bit and looks over at Argus, who's snoring because It's like, huh, an adventurer? Yeah, yeah, I'm an adventurer. Well, I guess now I am. Kind of a new thing for me, though. Um, but anyhow, sorry about your friend and your house and everything.
Good job.
Oh,
Good job.
Ed just kind of goes, I can't believe that happened. Uh,
Yeah. Well, do you want to be an adventurer now that you kind of lost everything?
I, I want my life back,
oh.
but
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Well, hey, the good news is your life uh, left only very recently, so maybe it's easier. Maybe it's not too hard to get it back. It's there's still remnants, right? Things to what do you think you could do?
Uh, I don't know. I'm thinking.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, let me know if you think of anything.
Well,
Got it.
And then Theo smashes the leg off a bunk and it almost topples over. He's like, "Oh, whoops."
Yes. Cool. So you were just trying to uh kind of uh feel the Everdrift flow around you and everything. And that would normally just be an abundant DC of 13. But given these wards and things, we're gonna do a DC 15. So just give me this is going to be you have your static. No. Do you have a component pouch or a saw blade? I forget if you have one of those.
Uh, um,
No, some sort of. Okay, maybe not then.
no, I
Okay,
have, uh,
well, why don't
no.
you give me a carpenter's tools check? So this is a wisdom modifier, and then plus if you're proficient in carpentry tools, you can add a +2.
Um, Let me check. Where would my tool proficiencies be on the roll 20 character sheet? I forget what
If
my
you inputted them, they would be on the
ah, I found
bottom.
it actually.
Oh, okay,
And it is intelligence, not wisdom. Um,
the
I just
static will.
the carpenter's tools on my character sheet say intelligence. I don't know if I
Oh,
did that
yeah, you probably did that wrong. Where I have a little chart on the homebrew document on page 25.
wrong. Okay,
Um,
cool.
yeah, but uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So add yeah, do a carpenter tool. So this would be 5 plus all of that. Okay. Um, cool. You find yourself trying to kind of push and pull uh on these objects and things, but your mind is just kind of super worried with all of that has just happened, and you're really kind of just viewing it as a way to not think about, you know, your mom and all of that. Um, and sadly, you're a little bit too out of focus to really get any decent practice, especially with these blight wards here going on. Um, cool. Uh, awesome. As uh, as you guys kind of sit there and watching things, give me a perception check, both of you. Though Theo with disadvantage.
Dang, I've rolled so many ones today.
Oh.
That's good. Burn them up on the
RP day.
whatever. Yeah, RP. Thank you.
Shoot. Did I roll the wrong thing?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Oh wait, here it is.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, the max roll, we got a 10 and a crit fail.
Ooh.
Okay. Cool. Um, oh,
Zach is so happy.
oh,
You
there
can
are,
hear it in his voice.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like,
I'm pretty
oh,
happy
so
about
a crit
that
fail.
one. So, as you guys stand there, kind of both somewhat talking every once in a while, but then kind of sullenly sinking back into your own internal thoughts and the loss that both of you have felt in different ways, you fail to notice a shift in the outside as um, you do know that Arizo kind of had closed the shutters to kind of get some shut eye for everyone. Um, but even as you're Theo, they're like failing to really be able to interact with the Everdrift like you want. You fail to feel um, outside um, another mass of Everdrift descending down through the streets outside, seemingly. Um, and these kind of soft creaks that maybe an alert grung would be able to hear don't come to your ears as you're thinking your internal thoughts. And in a sudden but silent motion of a gust of wind, the shutters poof open as you guys are kind of looking the opposite way. And with a silent but quick speed, a chug of smoke rolls from the outside into the room. And you, with your low perception scores, aren't able to notice in time for this effect to take hold. A sleep spell of sorts has occurred upon this room. So I'm going to roll 10d8 dice.
Oh.
Okay. This is how much hit points the sleep spell can interact with.
You get to sleep. You get to sleep.
Okay. How much this spell is first going to target Tad here. How much hit points do you have?
Well, I have 21 total.
But currently.
I think I had 5 at the end of the last.
Okay. So you find yourself trying to keep watch, but just internally thinking about all that you've lost, and finally you kind of sniff a little bit of smoke on the air and feel this ability to fall asleep, which you weren't able to do just thinking about all the craziness that you're going to have to deal with the next day. But this kind of this outlet to go into unconsciousness and not have to think about it, you take it instantly, and you conk out in the chair there as you're there. Now, Theo, you feel this kind of heat upon your back as you're not facing the right direction, and are thinking about your mom, and also about the inspiration that you've gained from that moment earlier. And you feel this magical presence come upon you. How much hit points do you have?
13.
13. Okay, so this is definitely going to potentially, send you to sleep. So I'd like you to roll a d4 for me, please.
Ah,
3. Do you want to use your new level 3 thing to?
yes, I will.
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
What
Theo feels the heat and he feels himself sort of. Actually, I think I might have stacked inspiration. I didn't actually get two, obviously, because it doesn't stack. But I
Yeah.
forget which moment I should think back to. You may have to remind me. But
Let's say just think back on your mom and like the last words that you had with her and the kind of the happier moments of
yeah,
being able to see her before she passed. Yeah.
I think as he kind of Theo feels the sleep pulling at him and like pulling him into unconsciousness, he fades into that state of like remembering things, and he remembers that moment of the fog clearing from his mother's eyes and her recognizing him finally after all of that struggling, and the promise that he made to figure out what's going on and to understand this more general memory fog that seems around, um, and uses that sort of that connection that he had and that promise that he made to try to like double down and fight the feeling.
Nice.
And he falls asleep anyhow.
Well, no, the way we're gonna do this is you can set the dice with the inspiration. Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Okay,
Um,
cool.
okay, so you feel this like chill down your back as you think about this, and unbeknownst to you, the fog kind of like starts to glitch out around you as it seemingly like passes through you entirely. And you're kind of obscured there slightly in the fog, but you are able to turn around towards where it has come from and take a perception check with disadvantage, um, as you now have kind of gained
Oh
some
man,
speed here.
look at that other one.
No.
You see through through this window, uh, this chugging smoke, and are only barely able to make out a couple things within the smoke here. You definitely notice from a top corner of the room this small but distinctly bright turquoise kind of glyph of sorts glows from the fabric of one of the hammocks. And uh, blooming large within the smoke, it's hard to make out what this giant figure is, but a furry snout with a toothed Ursa-like jaw below kind of grizzled, stubby ears softly pants into the room with interesting stealth as but you can hear the light click of claws on wood, as they slightly scrape around, though dimmed, in their sounds.
Does it look like it knows that I noticed it?
Its its piercing, glowing cerulean eyes break through the fog, but show not the iris itself, but just almost like the laser like vision of whatever this creature is. Does scans the room. Do you take a stealth check?
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay.
Should this be normal?
Yeah, this would be normal. Your perception, your perception was a disadvantage because you crit failed last time. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cool. You see it scan the room and it notices you and kind of cocks, like the eyes like cocked to the side slightly as you hear drips of like a little bead of drizzle or something click onto the Everdrift floor below. But then it like shakes it off and kind of turns back around, whipping around, to look at this like glyph thing in the corner. And with unexpected speed and silence, just as fast as it came, this lumbering force seems to almost like fly out the window here with an unexpected grace. All that's remaining of its presence ever being there, this lingering layer of smoke that's slowly dissipating down into the ground, um, and uh, the swaying of the hammocks near the window,
Can
the
I
fabric kind of cluttered there. Uh, yes.
This is a silly thought, but I kind of want to try it. As I see the smoke slowly fading down after the thing has left, I have a bunch of empty vials. Can I try and catch some smoke in a vial?
Yeah. Give me a alchemist tools check. So this is wisdom plus your if you're proficient. Yeah. 8.
Gosh, dang it.
You definitely see yourself like grab this smoke and put it in there, but just as everything else is dissipating, it also starts to dissipate inside your vial, and you're not really sure if you've caught it or not with an 8. Yeah. Cool.
And then I think I'll shuffle over to Tad and like gently kick him awake.
Cool. Give me a. You do know that it is about, you were about to do a shift change as well. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just leave him be then.
Okay.
That was spooky. That was very spooky. Oh, the glyph is still there.
Do you want to give me an investigation check?
Yeah.
7. You look at the all the hammocks. All the hammocks. There's no one in them. No glyphs. Yeah. Everything.
All right.
Just yeah. Fabrics just floating there. Yeah.
Well, I assume Tad just. Oh no, he fell asleep in the chair, right?
Mhm.
Okay, not on the floor.
Cool. Do you wake up whoever's next?
Yeah,
You look down and you do see right below you. Iniko, where are you sleeping? Are you sleeping on the floor, on a bed?
I'll be on the foot of a bed.
Okay. You see Iniko on the foot of a bed. She's got her little paws out and she's kind of doing like a little kneading motion like in the air, and her whiskers are like twitching every so often, and you see that she's like accidentally pushed her covers like off of herself and with like her little things, and it almost is like she's like miming like the how like cats do of like they're like prancing in their dreams type of thing. Yeah.
Very indignant.
Do you go over and kind of interact with her or anything, or
Yeah, Theo's first instinct, like a house, because she looks like a house cat, is to pet her, but he stops. He's like, "Wait a minute,"
as you go
and then
to pet
just kind
her,
of pokes her.
as you go to pet her, you stop and hesitate for a
Yeah,
moment, and then what do you do? Then you
I poke her.
then you poke her. As you poke her, she disappears. Now we're going to transition to Iniko's dreams.
Oh boy.
Iniko, you have you are having this the same amazing dream you always have of bounding after this, and right now taking on this male form of this Fellas in front of you, kind of holding your hand, and you're chasing each other through this like landscape of biomes that is just like you jump from one to the next, going from forest to snow playground to farmland, and just the admiration and joy and exploration and that you feel through all of this is definitely vibrant as you're just having this amazing dream time. So much of the real existence that you live has been so horrible, but at least within your dreams, when the admired one comes to grace your dreams, you are able to think thoughts of other worlds and other places. Yeah. What do you give me? What's your sense of emotion in this moment as you're kind of doing this somewhat mundane to you at this point thing, but that is so joyous.
No, I feel like I'm like enjoying the dream, but I'm not 100% relaxed and in it. So I'll just say
Mhm.
like a baseline like contentedness of like a curling up with a nice blanket or something. It's
Got
kind of
it.
the thing.
Yeah, and that the admired one kind of gives you this comforting thought, but it doesn't always isn't always actually there in voice all the time to give you true divination, divine guidance or anything like that. Um, but you you see him stop at one point and turn back to you and start to open his mouth as if to do so, which is a rare occurrence and something that you treasure. Um, but in that moment, everything contorts and twists as you feel your senses dumbed down,
Mm.
as your your more primal senses actually are increased as your smell and your hearing and everything becomes more attuned, but it's almost like your consciousness is dimmed as all of those thoughts that you'd been thinking about in the background that kept you from being content kind of fade away as you just forget about the horribleness of certain parts of the world, and only your most primal immediate um, instincts come into play. And it's this weird feeling that is also full of this sense of submission to somebody's will.
Just the sleep.
Submission to, in this case, a tiefling. You find yourself being pet on a table by a tiefling hand as it kind of comes down your spine, and you see that you are naked, but you don't care about it, as you have, you're just there, kind of curled up, purring, and uh, there is no loss of true free will here, as you feel like you can still kind of turn your head to this way or that, or look around this room and you see some jewelry on the walls and things, but you are still very much feeling like someone else is kind of choosing orders for you to follow. But there is a almost an interesting contentness in this of not having to decide for yourself certain things. But all your ambitions from before are dimmed as you kind of see the world in this new animalistic wonder. And you hear this kind of dark, deeper voice um, as it like goes to pet you, say, "Ah, Tish, here is our most popular starting contract here for clients of all dispositions at Supreme Summons. Even when called upon with just our pet tier contracts, you see, she's as cuddly and cute as a companion as you could desire. But with the Guardian contract, which I myself has, as he like gropes for his little jeweled amulet or something, she can provide you with self-defense. Familiar, on guard. And you feel like almost as if like snapped to military attention, you feel yourself needing to like be a little bit more defensive, or as something is off, as you kind of find yourself in a defensive pose, but instead of going onto your 2 feet and grabbing your weapon, you see your claws retract and your back kind of arches and you puff out your fur a little more as you kind of give a sneer. And as you look up at who you might be sneering at, you see you're on a table. There's tieflings on one side, seemingly the shopkeep side, maybe, but there's another figure standing in the room, a humanoid uh, figure. And as you look across the jewelry shop, across from this master figure that you slowly kind of had this connection with, you see this other humanoid figure who actually seems familiar, a lanky human face that you, for some reason, could have sworn you've seen on a statue before. But it's hard to have a high level of thought like that in this kind of bestial state that you're in. But you hear this same voice say, but well, the reason why many adventurers like Tish here is so much is that well, you see, she's an all-in-one package. You see, her spell prowess permitting, I don't know what kind of spellcaster you are, but she can be summoned not just as a familiar, but also as a summoned beast. And due to her felis nature, when summoned, Tish is, you know, when summoned by a higher level, in a higher level capacity, she can aid you in a bipedal capacity and even carry equipment, and as such is great for those adventurers needing a battle companion. And as such, overall, her contract is the most affordable for an aspiring conjurer like yourself, and for those hoping to grow their skills with the trade, experience with the trade, even and add in the fact that Tish is one of our most dedicated employees, being one of the few contracts we offer 24/6 access. That is when not on hold serving other clients, you see. But though it seems that Tish, did you recently change your calico coloring somehow? Well, I'll need to ask her about that. But anyways, there are other things in the store here too. Oh, thank you for your time, Tish. Thanks for this tutorial. I'll see you soon. And you see kind of a little boop on your nose as you find like everything contorting back to the dream that you were once in, as you're now holding the admired one's hand there in this kind of setting of a farmland of sorts that actually is somewhat akin to the place that you stayed last night. But you see him look down at you with a more serious expression as you're kind of faltered and on one knee on the ground. And he says, "Where did you go, Iniko?" With like a less, pleasant than his normal voice. He's like, "Strange. But a brief moment ago, you were here, but then our connection was frayed. Curious. Iniko, I've told you about my misguided sister, no? The clouded one before, yes? She doubts all, even the memories of the eldest Kandori. I fear forces near you may be connected in some way to her malpractice. Beware, my child, for doubt in others opposes the empathy and admiration we aim to spread. Now, sleep well, my child. I must figure out what has happened here." And
Is the admired one talking?
yes, yeah. As do you find yourself falling into normal sleep, or do you find yourself waking up?
That would definitely wake me up. Like,
Okay.
so violating. Oh my gosh.
In this
Distressing.
moment, let's go back to Theo. Theo, you see that there's no one there in front of you, just a little blanket that was once there on this bed. What are you thinking in this moment?
First thing I think is he just looks around the room to see if any goes somewhere else in the room.
With that 7 investigation check from before, you take a significant amount of time to like check areas, but your heart's kind of racing a little bit, and you don't know what's happening. Everyone else is asleep.
I'm gonna go to Argus, and before I poke him or touch his shoulder or anything, I'm gonna be like, Argus? Argus? Hello? Wake up.
More snoring.
You see Argus was actually sleeping in the bed that Iniko was sleeping on the edge of. And you see him kind of rustling around a little. Do you wake Argus up?
Was he gonna be on watch with Iniko? I think so.
Yeah, he
right?
could be on watch, sure.
Yeah, I guess after like whispering and trying to say his name and get him to wake up, I'm just gonna very hesitantly reach out and like push his shoulder a little bit. Argus?
Okay. Yeah. Do you wake up, Argus?
Yeah, that's
Huh?
Disappear? God.
Argus, you see you wake up and you feel fur scuttling underneath your blankets, like right near your little 2 feet that like are kind of like tickling your elephant feet uh at the base of the bed there.
Argus, Argus, um, a lot just happened. Maybe most pressing is that Iniko disappeared.
Argus is just gonna pull the covers up a bit and look down at his feet.
Iniko, what do you look like down there as you're like
I
frantic?
like cartoon cats when they get like electrocuted, like Tom and Jerry style. That's what I look like. Like all claws are out, digging into the bed, back is completely arched, ears flat, all of the fur is like standing up, which looks a little weird underneath the blanket. Like my eyes, like the iris is gone. It's just pupil.
Mm.
And then I look up and
Ah,
Argus, and I like there's a moment, like a beat where it's like, oh, okay, I'm back. I'm here now. And then the
And
immediate response is then being super embarrassed that I'm underneath the blanket, like in bed with him, and I like
Argus is like,
scramble out, like
"Did you get cold?"
something like that. I'm so sorry. I
do you,
oh what came over me?
Iniko, can you cast illusions or something?
Not that I know of.
Because you were not, because I saw you sleeping on top of the blankets, and I went to wake you up first, and then when I poked you, you disappeared.
I disappeared.
Yeah. And then I went all looking all over the room for you. I guess maybe you were just here the whole time, but I couldn't find you.
Oh,
Look,
yeah,
look, kid,
I
you've
must.
had a long day. I think here, you take the bed. I'll go ahead and start watch. You're speaking,
Thanks.
you're talking crazy. It's too late for this.
And Theo is genuinely exhausted, so before he mentions the other things that went on, he goes and he gets into bed and he pulls the blanket up, and right before he falls asleep, he's like, "Oh, also, uh, there was a gust of smoke and a wolf-like thing that came in, and there was a glyph on the hammock over there, and the wolf cast sleep on me and Tad, and I didn't fall asleep, but that's why Tad is asleep already. And it saw me, and then it kind of left, and then all the other weird stuff happened.
And
Argus
then
looks over to the hammock where there's clearly no glyph anymore. Looks around the room where there's clearly no smoke. Eh,
uh Theo, you take this on, you just conk out as you get you know the message is passed. Argus, though, give me a insight check, please.
Insight. Nice.
You take all this in stride, and in your manner of kind of calming everyone down, you kind of tell everybody that's okay. But you do remember that Arizo was sleeping in a hammock, and now there's no one in any hammocks.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know, but you're there, and Iniko is still frantic on and a little stilted. Yeah.
Um, Iniko, have you seen Arizo around?
Uh, no, not. I just woke up. Why do you ask? Gonna like look around and like not seeing them anywhere. Be like, did they get out for some air?
We look over to the is the window still open? I assume the shutters.
The shutters are closed, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Look over. Well, I mean, if he went out, he must have gone out quietly because everything still looks closed.
Can I
I
do
don't
a
know.
perception check to see if I like can hear or smell him anywhere nearby?
Yeah. Give me a perception check. 20. You I mean, you still smell his scent in the room, uh, ish. I mean, all of your scents kind of like combine
Right.
together, and your smell is not your best.
No.
thing when it comes to people, though you do have this more magical side of smelling sometimes. But with a 20, your big ears do pick up, the nature of Bilica always being happening and people sleeping at different times and there really being no day or night cycle means there's bustling stuff outside and the streets are going and everything, and you hear the little tiny entry foyer area that has a couple chairs and things down below. You hear some people talking and happening things going on, and just normal everyday business busy time sounds. Yeah.
You guys sense them like still in the room.
No, I mean, you sense all the people that you can see in the room. But yeah.
Okay. Say, I don't think they're here in the room, and I don't I don't even hear their voice anywhere in the building.
Well, no,
Hmm.
I didn't
Anywhere
say that,
downstairs.
but yeah. But you can say that if you want.
Okay, I don't hear them in the room anywhere. I think they must have gone out.
Well, he seems to be one to keep his head down, so I'm sure he'll come back.
So,
Right.
as you guys take your watch here, what do you converse about anything? Are you trying to advance any specializations in your 3 hours here, or take it away?
Oh, Iniko, how have you guys been? What have you been up to? I mean, last I saw you, we were uh, trying to save some farmer's ass from the venturing party, and you're flying in through a cloud. You must have been busy.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Mooks and I helped the Sunfly Inn folks get rid of um I'm sorry, I don't remember what they're called, but like the evil zombie mushroom
Mice and
infestation.
Kids.
yeah,
Um, and see,
The fungi people.
we got
Oh,
to,
okay.
rest there, and we helped build the Jelly Ochre family a new home, and then we heard that you might be in trouble, so we came
You
to
heard that we might be. How'd you hear that? I didn't even know we were in trouble.
yeah. You heard that the Rashman, I think, one of the brothers of the family was in trouble.
Mhm.
Yeah, not necessarily Argus, but yeah.
Well, we heard that they one of the sons was in trouble, so we went to see if we could help, and before we knew it, you were there.
Yeah.
Rashna family. Who's
Rashman Stavelot was just to help remind you, Iniko, the one of the brothers of the family of that you were staying with. He was helping out his girlfriend or something to do with the mountain logging camp, and on the trail up there, um, the fog cloud that was thought to be, you know, interacting with them or was on the mountain logging camp moved down to the defense's rest. And so the immediate danger that you were sent to help with was not actually a thing anymore. But through the fog, you saw Argus there. Yeah.
I'm condensing my story. Like,
Mm-hmm.
went to go help someone and then saw you and, jumped into that fray, literally.
all right? Well, good to see you. Uh, let's see. Since you left, we we all turned into elements of different flavors. I became fire. Arizo became water. Uh, that was a new experience for me. I've never,
Like nodding.
I've never been a fire before. Then
Iniko, you have no clue what he's talking about.
Mhm. I don't understand at all, but I'm like, oh wow, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I've never been fired.
Relatable.
Then what else happened? Then we well, this guy Arizo like rained on top of me, and then he and Thaddeus there were trying to escape this really boring trial. I was basically hungover the whole time, so I don't really know what happened. But then we were running, beat up some punks. Uh, they somehow we ended up at the oh yeah, we ended up here, and the guy who owns this place knows a guy next door, um, who's Theo's brother-in-law, I guess. Uh, Complicated. Theo and what's his name over there? Um, they're apparently some time travelers, I guess. Theo seems to know me. I I've never met him before, but he's pretty cool. So yeah, I could dig it. He's got a smoking hot sister, let me tell you that. Um,
Iniko like looks down for that part.
Niece, actually.
um, then yeah, then Thaddeus basically had some phone call or people messing with his house. So we went up to see what was going on,
It's not
and
a phone
then
call.
then
Phones
it
don't
then
exist.
it turned into a whole cabal. I don't really know what was going on. It was just a whole bunch of dust and stuff the whole time. Eventually, the some guy came out of the dust and started whacking me, so I had to whack him back, of course. And yeah, then everyone came running out, and you heard the rest.
Inigo,
Oh,
give me an insight check, please.
How full of BS the story is? I was kidding.
Yeah.
See, the funny
Uh,
part is you have no idea.
you you kind of have no idea. You heard him say trial though. You do remember the Roshman brothers. One of the reasons why you and Mooks were there to like help take care of things that day was because the Roshman brothers went to a trial or something that they were really excited to see. But I don't you don't remember Zodor trial something something. It was like a big event. Who knows? But yeah.
Oh,
Besides
and then
that,
Argus, as Argus is droning on, he goes, "Oh yeah, and we're gonna make an adventuring party. Isn't that gonna be fun?"
sounds like you've already started with everything you've been up to.
Oh wow, we gotta go to the guild. We gotta get bands. They gotta give us
I thought,
quests. It's a whole thing. It's gonna be a
aren't
lot of
you
fun.
a part of the guild? I feel like when we first met, those adventurers seemed to talk to you like you were part of the Adventurers Guild.
Oh well, let's just say I've got a convenient set of friends and uncles and cousins that I know pretty well.
Must be nice to have a big family.
mm.
Argus looks to the side. Yeah, thinking of his father and how he was raised, and the thinking fondly of the Loxodon community. Kind
Inigo,
kind of
what,
kind of goes glassy eyed
Inigo, what are
in a
you?
moment of what's the word
Constellation.
Reverie?
Yeah.
Nostalgia?
when it's like
They,
nostalgia. Thank you.
Inigo, what are you thinking about as he goes in that moment as you say, nice to have a good family?
Oh, I think back to my parents and like hope that they're okay. And like my mind like briefly like flits over to like my aunt Margot and like wondering where she is. And like wondering briefly like if my like childhood elf friend like if they're even like alive somewhere. Just like, thinking back to like the community that I had and now the complete lack thereof.
Inigo, as
Flashback to Argus, imagining his picture on the Adventurers Guild wall.
Iniko, as you imagine, think of all that. Give me a history check with advantage.
Ooh, with
Like,
it in it. Oh, that did so much.
even with a 10, for some reason you remember that Margot was briefly your aunt was had briefly a relationship with some other uh, person where she took on the surname Tish.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just you're like, wait, I don't know why that's important. But yeah, Argus is there in front of you. He's lumbering Loxodon, and you guys have a watch together. Yeah. And he just
Uh,
ranted about a lot of stuff.
Remind me, what's the name of the character that is the bunny, the rabbit?
Arizo.
Arizo.
Arizo. Okay. I might ask, like, so, how do you know Arizo? Like, when did you guys meet up again?
Oh, well, he's the one that just dropped in on me. Like literally, he rained in from the ceiling.
Oh, when you were fire.
Yeah, when I was fire. Now you're getting it.
You
Did
were fire, but
that hurt
Tag is fired.
while you were fire?
Say that again?
I mean, didn't the rain hurt while you were fire?
Well,
Oh my
I don't remember really. It all happened so fast. Plus, I don't know. I could have been imagining the whole thing. I was pretty hungover.
Oh, yeah.
Like I mean, hammered. The stuff they got here, that bub, fucking inspiring. Let me tell you.
Gosh, speaking of, imagining things, do you think that the shadow and the glyph we were talking about earlier, do you think he imagined that?
Hmm. And there's going to be kind of a look that betrays Argus here. Hmm. Oh, but I think we should probably stay on our toes.
Can I do a perception check or insight check to read more into what Argus just said?
You can't take insight checks directly on player characters, but
Okay.
yeah.
But you can ask.
You can ask.
Okay, I could be like, what do
Yeah.
you mean by that?
Well, just we gotta we gotta watch out. This Bilica's a weird place, man. It is weird. I have yet to experience one day that I thought was a normal day here.
Um, Argus, as you kind of take stock of Iniko, give me an investigation check. You had mentioned earlier wanting to go adventuring party stuff, and you had mentioned needing to get bands and things. And even with a 6 on your investigation there, um, you do notice that even Iniko, even kind of dressed down to be a little bit slumbery, has a pretty big Eon band on one of her wrists, that is kind of almost comically large for her small form.
I have them covered though, like wrapped.
Yes, but in your frantic fray from earlier, the
Oh,
wrap kind of come off a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got a band there. What? Honestly, I'm still confused. What are these bands even for?
Oh, uh, rewrapped band. Um, everyone in Bilica has one. They're how a lot of people
Everyone,
like
I
pay
could
for
swear
things.
some of the, I could swear there was someone else that didn't have one.
Well,
Oh
well,
yeah,
everyone in
Arizo doesn't have one.
the Supremacy has one. But who doesn't? Arizo, you said?
Yeah, Arizo doesn't have one.
Is Arizo from here?
I don't know. I guess I didn't ask.
Oh.
Oh no, I did ask. Yeah, no, he's not from here. He's from the Shadowfell or
Oh.
Shadowlands. No, here. Let me think for a second. Think back to my memory.
Iniko, you know
Um,
what
Yeah.
the Shadowlands are. They're these this area underneath the Progress Tower that you guys are actually kind of near. And you know that that's one of the places that you've thought about that you know is a little more accepting of monstrous folk. Um, yeah, but
Well, I
you've
go,
never heard of Shadowfell before.
no, but I'm
Yeah.
like making a mental note.
Hmm. Cool.
Like,
oh yeah, Shadowlands. I think that's what he said. Shadowlands.
that's pretty near here. Okay.
Oh well, maybe he's gone to go see somebody.
Maybe.
Sure.
Hmm.
Okay.
So what do you use the band for? Is it just a statement piece? I
Oh,
thought some people like used it for money.
yeah. It's sort of way to the Supremacy uses to, you know, keep track of everyone, like money and where you're going and just things like that. But I mean,
Where are you
I don't
going?
really use
Why
my
why would they care about where you're going?
yeah, why would they care? But they're really not that exciting. Um, you're just maybe don't advertise the fact that you don't have one, wouldn't want
Oh,
to get
why
in trouble.
why is that?
Oh, just, depending where you go in Bilica, it's standard for everyone to have one. And, if you didn't, people might ask questions.
Hmm. Well, good point. Uh, I guess I better
Argus,
get one.
Argus, give me a history check, uh, or just a straight charisma check.
Sure.
Uh, so, I mean, you've been with the Adventuring Guild now. You went to a couple parties with them, right? Um, and you're in excessively charismatic nature, and the way that you have all of these little like trinkets all over you, right, has kind of maybe, as you think about this, hidden the fact that you don't have one of these bands. But as you think back on those, drunken memories, you do remember that every single adventurer had an Eon band of some kind.
Hmm.
Though some of them, may have integrated them into their fashion in different ways. But
Hmm.
um, yeah, so yes.
Hmm.
Um,
Argus is gonna look over at um oh shit, Ethan, what's your character's name?
Hutar.
Hutar, thank you. Argus is gonna fetch a glance over at Hutar and see if he has one.
I don't know if Hutar probably sleeping under covers or something. You might have to investigate a little more or touch him if you wanted to figure that out.
Can
But
I notice that Argus is looking over at
yeah,
Hutar? So I
Yeah,
could be
yeah, I'm
like,
not trying to hide it.
yeah, could be like, Hutar has one. He's a adventurer. I'm sure you could talk to him about it if you were wanting to get one.
Hmm. All right. Oh, I gotta see where he got it.
Iniko, give me a history check with disadvantage. And that one was your response just now about Hutar.
Wait.
Cool. The uh okay, so sorry, just to get things a little bit going here. That was some great role play. Do you guys want to do anything mechanically with these 3 hours to advance any skills that you might be trying to advance or anything, or anything like that?
Argus, Argus, in his newfound abilities, uh, is going to just kind of what's
You,
what's a good way to explain this?
do you want to like float around a little
Just
bit?
just kind of recite some plays in his head. Just try and recall things he's heard, funny skits, acts. And while he's doing this, he's gonna sort of just flick the tinickler around while it's floating there.
Got it.
Just like
So,
spin it a little bit, see what just just kind of absent-mindedly, but not I don't know, not just trying to see like how does this whole half gravity thing work?
so roll me a d20 plus your charisma. So not a charisma save. Don't add that modifier, but just plus your charisma modifier. And we'll say that you're subconsciously doing a twine check here as you're learning more about how drift is working and things. So
Brain check.
TW.
Oh, whoops, that was the wrong thing. I want let's roll a 20 plus 5.
You have a 5 to your
There we go.
modifier.
Yeah.
You have a 20 as your score. Is that true?
What?
No.
Oh, plus the modifier.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Modifier is in fact 3. So I got a 5.
No, you can roll again, dude.
All right, fine. If you insist. 10.
So, okay, with the 10, you find yourself kind of like stumbling into gaining a first level in Twine as you don't really know what you're doing, but the inherent nature of Rift kind of and the fact that these earlier levels are easier to gain. Give yourself one work session in Twine and write it in your character sheets on where are we putting it?
Have them in personality traits, I think.
Yeah, in personality traits.
Right.
And if you get 20 levels in Twine, you can get some mechanical bonuses from the game. And I'm also going
Okay.
to put this into the chat here in Roll20. But if you haven't already seen this, I believe I sent this out before. But this is some of the rules that we're referencing for those who are of the world, who you are slowly becoming. Cool. Iniko, are you doing anything in this moment, or are you kind of just breathing and yeah?
Excellent question. I don't see myself doing a mind mend work session just because there isn't a lot to work with.
Yeah.
I might try to be like a little like meditating a little bit, trying to connect with the divine one after what happened, but
yeah, give me a religion check.
Religion.
It's not that you like feel like you're doing anything bad, you know how to pray and things. What does it look like as you do this prayer? Is it more internal, or do you like set up your focus somewhere and do a
I guess
little.
it's more internal because I'm still on watch, but I'm like sitting up and like the tail is like wrapped around to like, just so like the tip covers like the front paws and like very like statuesque
Mm.
position. My
Yeah,
eyes are squinty, not totally closed, but
you
like
get the wash of kind of that content joy of, and a new sense that you are still getting used to, of that excitement of exploration and things, and you feel that base connection with the tenets of your faith, but you aren't able to gain any additional knowledge or anything like that. But cool. Can you guys give me perception checks, Tyler with disadvantage, as you are trying to and learn more about the twine a little bit?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, you said perception?
Yes. Nice. Um, cool. With 16, Millie, sorry, Iniko, you, uh, in this meditative nature, um, you hear some people pass in and out of the little taverny area downstairs, um, and uh, notice that slinking. You notice a hand on the door outside in the hallway, uh, kind of like click and like try and get the door to like open a little bit.
our
But
door.
it's locked. Yeah, your door. Do you do anything about it?
I think I like my ears shift to listen, but like, does this person keep trying for the door, or do I get the sense this is someone like drunk, like stumbling back the wrong room?
They just try like one and a half times or something, and you're not sure, but you see them. Their feet are there still.
What do
And
their feet look like?
it's hard to tell. You just know that
Okay.
there's a shadow of, yeah.
I think I pay more attention to the door now, but I'm not gonna get at.
Okay, cool. I think Argus, do you kind of let Iniko lead on that, or
Yeah, Argus is just gonna look at the door. He's heard a lot of drunks fumbling about in the night, having grown up in an inn, of course.
okay, you guys wait and do nothing, and you hear footsteps and the mark of a cane on the floor leaving, um, and going down the steps. Um, yeah. Um, cool. That's
We didn't. I guess maybe I need to do a history check, but we didn't see anyone. We don't know anyone with a cane, right?
you do. You give me a history check.
What do we know with a cane?
I mean, I know who has a cane.
You remember this distinguished fellow that rained down on you with water.
Okay. I thought it was Arizo.
Yeah, but
I couldn't remember if he had a
you
cane or not.
you hear this cane just kind of walk down the stairs, seemingly towards like the downstairs lobby area or something.
Okay, well then Argus is gonna go over to the door and open it.
You don't see anybody in the hallway at this time, but yeah. As you take, yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna close the door. I'm gonna like motion to Iniko, just like stay there. I'll go look. Like gently, quietly close the door for everyone, and then go down the stairs, following
Okay,
the
Tyler,
right sound went.
if you do this, you won't be gaining, because Iniko is about to pass the torch to the next sleep cycle there. So you won't be gaining a long rest.
Can I just do it?
You can do it after.
Just a couple minutes.
look around and then.
Okay, yeah, you can go down a couple of minutes. Cool.
Just like if he's on the stairway, or if I like
Yeah, no,
walk down the stairs and see him. If I don't see him on the way there,
got it.
then I'll turn around and head back.
You walk down the stairs. You see actually in the stairwell, a halfling and a gnome like making out, and moving up the stairs, and then
Is she hot? Are they hot?
take a,
Hey, you want to know if Argus watches?
yeah, they seem like they're both like very overworked people, and like hygiene is not the most important thing to them.
All right.
Yeah.
Argus is gonna, as he walks by, is gonna.
But you see down in the lobby area, that there seems to be a couple like alcove seats. It's not quite a bar, but like almost like a little office area of some sort. And you see a couple people there, but I mean, Arizo tends to be pretty good at hiding his ears, so it's kind of hard to make out anybody down there. But
okay, if I don't see him, Argus is just gonna.
Okay.
And head back upstairs, go back into the room.
Okay, how do you wake up Muukhs and Hutar here?
I guess Argus is gonna wake up Hutar. Like, hey, Hutar, it's your turn for the watch.
Hi.
Hey, Iniko is saying you might have gotten an Eon band. Do you know where we can get one of those?
No.
No, like no, you don't have an Eon band, or no, you don't know where we can get one.
Both.
Oh, so you don't have one either.
No. Should I?
Interesting. I don't know. I don't have one. Apparently, everyone in Bilica uses them.
I'm in Bilica.
That's what I thought.
You're in Bilica.
Guess tomorrow maybe we should try and go find some.
Maybe.
Anyway,
I don't know. They seem kind of sketchy.
What do you mean sketchy?
I don't know. Like they were like having everyone like, I don't know. It seems like they just got bad vibes from them. You know?
Iniko, are you heading back to bed, or are you joining this conversation?
Oh, I went and I'm waking Muukhs and I'm not joining this conversation.
Okay, cool. Sorry, keep going, Tyler. How do you get sleeping?
That's right. Huh. All right. But we can talk about this in the morning. I gotta catch some shut eye.
All right.
Good night.
Hutar, give me a insight check.
My specialty.
Yes, very, very insightful.
You don't really. What you don't notice is you don't notice that he says morning instead of umlight. And but a much, I guess, younger, if that's how you would say it, Hutar would have known a sort of morning.
Yeah.
You know, but
Uh-huh.
you don't really catch that turn of phrase distinction. Cool. Muukhs, you're being woken up by this nice little kitty cat.
Like gently shaking your shoulder a little bit. Like, Muukhs, it's time for your shift.
I come to very quickly, but like not being too alarmed or anything. Thank you for waking me up, Iniko. I shall get right on it. And I'm like, I get up from bed, immediately ready.
Do you sleep in your armor?
You bet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
you see, as opposed to everyone else who has had to been waken up, Mooks is like immediately awake, on guard, like content, like not like frantic or anything, but like calm and like militantly trained prowess, you know. Yeah.
um, when I wake Mooks up, I tell them about like, so and so is gone. Like when I woke up, they were gone. And like we heard some rattling with the door, but Argus went to check it out and, he didn't see anything. So just be aware.
Mm, okay. I will keep my one and only eye out for
Um, yeah, Iniko, as she says one and only I, you look at the other side of her face and um can you just give a description for those who maybe don't remember Mooks of what your face looks like?
Am I giving the
Mm,
description or is Mook's giving the description?
yeah, I thought.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I mean, it looks like a whale eye that's patched onto his head, and
Mhm.
it itself looks like an eye, but um it's like it does not look in the same direction as my real eye.
A little disconcerting, like a chameleon.
Iniko, give me a religion check, but with disadvantage from your 7 before. 5. You just feel groggy and are ready to go back to bed. Yeah.
No. So not going back to sleep after that. I'll curl up on Mooks's bunk in the middle of it, but like this is gonna be like laying there restfully. But
Are you
so
trying to take a long rest or are you trying to not take a
I
long
don't need a long rest.
Okay.
I still have,
So you're just joining, you're just there and you can join the conversation if you want.
I could, but like they don't know I'm awake. Like I've curled back up.
Yeah.
The
I will
thought of
say if you don't take a long rest within a 24-hour period, you gain 1 point of exhaustion, which is really bad. But you actually could do this because you just long rested not so long ago. So yeah. Um,
I might
Wait,
do
just
that.
checking.
cool.
Does the
Awesome.
HP go back to max?
Yes.
Okay, just want to check.
Awesome. Okay. Hutar and Mooks, you're there on watch. How does that unfold?
Um,
Hi, Hutar. Pleasure joining you as company for this watch.
yeah, it's been. No, I do hear. I think Hutar is gonna get up and like sort of start lumbering around the room, as he starts to sort of. But he will specifically as he sort of lumbers around everywhere, but he's gonna very distinctly, like when he walks, he's gonna walk by where Iniko is, and then like specifically, like super cautiously tiptoe around the bed that Iniko's on, and like stop what he's saying, and then when he gets to the other side of the bed, he's gonna continue what he's saying. I hear you are some kind of adventurer. There's like a guild or something. So you've been out sailing.
Basically. Uh,
You know, ah, I am sort of looking to start a crew myself, and I'm taking applications right now.
oh, thank you for letting me know that. Now that I've lost my gig or not my job, my livelihood that I had, I had to abandon that, and I would love to have um a community that I belong in.
Oh, well,
A
that's
guild
good to
sounds
hear.
wonderful.
You are a little confused though about sailing or whatever he's talking about.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yes,
Um,
I've got the shape of a promising crew.
what types of adventures do you seek with this crew, might I ask?
Also,
Oh,
Huh?
yes.
Hutar, I just want to be clear that you're talking to a Gith, which is usually a very lanky race, right? Green skinned, but that is like broader shoulders than you, I don't know, just a bit taller than you. Yeah. With yeah.
I'm pretty big.
I'm 6'3", weight 188.
I have my But I'm what I'm mostly looking for is just someone with ambition, someone with the heart of adventure beating in their chest.
Well, I've got two, so that's no, I'm just kidding. I make this random joke and then it's like I regret making it clearly. So I'm like, JK. Anyway, so down. Um, as long as we're not going around burning libraries or something, that is definitely down.
Never even been to a library.
My jaw drops. This is heresy. Like, have you read a book before?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. But you just haven't gone to a library?
No. Libraries a little too stationary for me.
Huh. Very well. Stationery is secure, so that's what I had preferred back then.
And look where it got you.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
The life out in the open winds, I can assure you, is much more exciting.
Yeah, I look down and like sort of defeat with my one eye, but my whale eye is like still looking up. Creepy.
A whale eye sounds bad.
Yeah, Hutar, do you question this whale eye at all? You know that, we'd say whales in common parlance here as, people in the real world, but they're called Kindori out in the void, you know. Yeah.
Would I be able to note that it's specifically that?
Yeah, Kindori is like one of the most common species of animals
Okay,
in
so
the
I
whole
wouldn't be
void.
able to note that eye is a Kindori eye, though.
Yeah. You've looked.
Aren't they like big though?
Yeah, they're giant, but this is
So
like
is it like
this is an
particularly big, or is it like
this is an artistic
normal?
metal rendering of a
Oh, it's
Kindori.
metal?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
It's kind of fused
okay.
onto my head, sort of, but it's metal.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was an eye patch.
It kind of is, but like it's like on my head.
Cool.
Here, let me see if I can send the photo.
There's a
Hold up.
picture. Oh.
Well, not photo, like a drawing.
Yeah, that's what I assumed you meant.
Photograph.
I got it on the photo.
Oops.
Twice, I think. Yeah.
Shit, that's not what I wanted to do.
Oh.
Okay. Cool.
I see.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No. It'd be
what
nice
is it?
to-
Since you're looking to be a prospective crew member,
Mhm.
what exactly are your talents?
My talents. Let's see. I'm real good at fighting, that's for sure. I've been trained quite well in my career as a bodyguard. Um, I'm if you need someone to count on, I'm very reliable, I would say. Not to brag, I hate bragging, but yeah. Uh, I've I've gone through some things recently that as a result of which I now can how do I say this? Exude purple. And
Like the color?
yeah, and
Like,
I'm quite powerful when I do that.
I don't really know what that means.
It's hard to explain. I need to understand it fully more myself too. I never studied
Alright.
this in any of my books at my library.
Well, see, there you go.
Yeah.
I've seen a number of purple things in my day. Don't really
Really.
know what you mean though. And this eye metal thing, does that help you?
Frankly, I'm not even sure. Do you know anything about my eye?
I mean, I've seen the Kandori. Plenty of Kandori herds around.
Zach, would I know what Kendori is?
Yeah, I think you'd remember reading about them, and you might have maybe even seen some like really detailed sketches of them and things. They're these kind of whale-like creatures that exist out in the void, but I don't think you've seen one in person before because you're so
Mm.
of an upbringing.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, we've only heard of Kendori, but haven't personally seen one.
They're supposed to be good luck if you see them on a journey.
Good luck. All right,
Yeah.
well, we'll need that.
Yeah. Some people are quite fond of them.
Hmm. I, to be honest, I would want to find out how I got this on my head
I
because,
don't know.
yeah, no,
It's on
actually,
your head, though.
we don't know.
Would you just wake up one day and it was there?
No, we actually got attacked, and then I almost died, and then we woke up like this, and now here we are.
Hutar, give me another insight check with disadvantage.
Oh, I did so good the first time, so I don't know.
Baby, I woke up like this. I woke up.
Oh, I'm improving.
With a two,
Going up.
you totally don't gloss over the fact that she said we woke up like yeah. Sorry, keep going.
So, I mean, like, who attacked you, though? You got people after you?
I don't think so. I was with my mentor, Logus, and we were out on a study, so to speak, and on our
Study.
way, we got attacked by some.
You were on a
I'm not sure because
study?
my memory is kind of hazy.
What kind of library were you at?
No, it was out of the library. We went out for um
Yeah,
procurement of supplies for our study. So, yeah, I wish I knew more because yeah,
Well,
our mind is really hazy.
if there's any way to figure things out, it's to go looking yourself. So I'll write you in for the
Oh,
crew.
thank you so much. We're so grateful.
I'm gonna like glance over at Argus and see that he's like back to fully asleep.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go across the room and like tiptoe past Iniko again, and then go over and take Argus's armor that he sort of said I could have, kind of, and put it on.
Got it. Cool. You start donning this armor. Mooks, do you help him out? Does he know a lot about armor?
Just text me. Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay,
Okay, go.
cool. Well, yeah, you guys are the last ones on watch, so just let me know when you want to take perception check or if you want to do any sort of specialization-y things. And then I'll
Can I root around for some things and try and like make food? Is that something I could do as like a bark thing?
well, I mean you do you have any things to make food out of?
You know, I just was with Argus's stuff and I know there's some cheese there.
Yeah, sure. You want to do some cooking checks? Do you have chef's tools?
I do.
Okay, yeah.
I was gonna say, if you root around a little harder, you might find some more.
Yeah, I'll dig around in Argus's stuff a little
Okay, yeah,
bit.
I mean he has a bunch of like random stuff. So I think to make maybe like one or two, maybe two rations, like there's enough diversity of stuff there that if a good chef could bring it together, they could make it into something that would actually become a real meal.
You wanna
Yeah.
let's see. I can tell you some of what I have. I don't know, is that
Give
how should I do that?
chef's tools check. And yeah, Tyler, you can just list off what you have if you want, but it's just flavors.
All right. I have 5 rations,
We're rolling so bad today.
a whole lot of cheese, so much cheese, meat, a bunch of tiny tarts. What other food stuff do I have? A goldfish, fireflies.
Hutar,
Yeah, he's alive.
Oh, nice meal.
You see 5 of these packaged rations that look packaged like they would be rations, but you like smell them and they like definitely are not rations. This is just like a piece of jerky or like something completely inedible on its own.
Oh,
And
I have a vial of bioluminescent goo. If you wanna
Oh yeah, it
do
sounds like a
something with that.
good spice to add.
Well,
Yeah.
I think actually they're not goo. They're mushrooms.
okay, Hutar, you spend a good time like rooting through all this stuff and realize that there is potential here with all of his things to make some rations. But with a 9 and you being in this room and all, even
I don't have
I also have a bunch of herbs.
yeah. But I will give you the work session for doing
Okay. Cool.
If you need more utensils, I also have cook's tools.
yeah, and
Well, I have them, so I'm okay.
cool.
Maybe I'll just swap out. I'll just like casually swap out
Get
one or two
get
utensils.
get all mine dirty and then put them back.
Yeah.
Okay. Mooks, do you do anything?
I'll be standing alertly and then occasionally like doing a little sideways one arm push up so I can like still see everything or like doing a few squats here and there.
So you're trying not to have disadvantage on your perception check there.
No, I take my job seriously.
Yeah. So
I'm a guard.
give me perception checks here. Hutar with disadvantage
My
for
specialty.
the watch.
Disadvantage perception checks are my specialty. It's a 7.
I thought your
Um,
specialty was insight.
Yeah.
It was.
Definitely take in the sounds outside, and even like crack open the shutters a little bit, and you notice that like when you guys first were out here on the streets, it was still like it seemed like some big event had happened to some other part of this neighborhood, and people were kind of like all the sleep schedules happened to be kind of aligned for a little bit in this street at least. But now it's like bustling with people. There's a cart moving down the street. There's some Dabbis doing a little construction project a couple streets over, and there's some gnomes walking to work seemingly at the forges or something. It's a bustling city outside and things. And you feel like it's getting to be about time for you guys to figure out what you're going to do next as a group here. Yeah. Cool. Iniko, what do you do with these 3 hours here if you're not sleeping?
Iniko was sleeping.
I don't know if she was. Okay.
She went onto the bed that I was on before.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we'll get back to it. Okay. So, I think Muukhs, that the hours have passed. Do you open the shutter to kind of subtly let the light in and wake everyone up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of wakes up
Alright.
here. Argus, you notice your stuff is a little bit moved around as if it's been rummaged through a little bit, but besides that, yeah.
To be clear, all of my stuff is attached to me, except the Taniqler, which is kind of floating above me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I just have pockets that are like feel wrong, like I slept on them funny, but not the way that should have.
Yeah.
Theo can't tell if
Do I notice Hutar just wearing the armor?
Yeah.
I'm totally just wearing it.
Oh,
Yeah, I see him with the armor. I'm like, hey, good, it fits.
Thumbs up.
So what do you
And
guys...
Argus is gonna sniff. Well, first of all, is there a smell in the air that Argus could detect? Having advantage with his keen smell.
Sure. Yeah. Check with advantage for smell, I guess.
Would that be? Just, I don't know. Probably nature, I guess. All right, or perception. Yeah, probably perception. That makes
sense. So, yeah, you with the doors opened, you smell a very like distinct smell that is just on the edge of your smell that you can smell on the across the street. There seems to be a little shop selling rations that are like super ornate and everything. Yeah. Cool. What do you guys do as you wake up? And Iniko, have you slept or have you done something in the last 3 hours?
I've half eavesdropped, half tried to sleep.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna count that as long rest. So what do you guys do as you start the day here? All 6 of you.
I'm to start the guild. Bring the paperwork on.
Let's go to the guild, man. Let's make it official.
Am I noticing that we're missing someone?
Yeah.
What? I'm gonna like tiptoe around Iniko again and then go over to the...
I'm awake now, though.
I was specifically not tiptoeing around anyone else. I was only tiptoeing around you.
I'm gonna give you a weird look, but not say anything.
I'm gonna give you like a mildly terrified look and back away. And then I'm gonna go over to like what is it? The like hammocks. I'm gonna like toss them around. Like what where's the rabbit?
Oh,
Oh, Arizo? Oh, he disappeared earlier. I wonder if he's
He
still
dis
downstairs.
Disappeared.
he disappeared and you didn't say anything?
Oh, well, I didn't see him leave, but I
You know
thought I heard
he's
him in the
like being
hallway.
didn't we bring up that he's like being
he's wanted.
hunted?
Yeah.
Oh, we had watched the whole time. Nobody saw him leave.
That is
What about the
worse than seeing him leave. What do you mean?
He was gone when Argus and I woke up.
I
Is
feel
Did
like
you
there should
any
have
of
been
you
more
see the
alarm
wolf
here.
thing?
What
There,
wolf thing?
what?
Thing.
The thing that I was talking about when I was
Why did no one
switching.
mention this?
I
There
did.
was a wolf?
Oh, you did? Oh shit, you're right. I forgot.
Wait, that was real? I thought you
I
were
forgot about
delirious.
that. I didn't see shit.
I'm charging downstairs.
Okay, does anybody else so Hutar charges downstairs. Is anyone else staying in the room to keep conversing, or how does that
If
No, we better go make sure
Yeah.
that
Bound.
I'm
rabbit's
gonna-
not eaten by the wolf.
Okay, Theo, you are the one who has the little key card to the room type of thing. There's some sort of arcano locking mechanism. Do you lock the door behind you, or
I'm gonna be the last person out. I'm gonna like do a quick glance around the room before we leave one last time, and then yeah, I'll lock it behind us.
okay?
Argus is still in the room. Is our stuff still strewn about? Or has everyone sort of collected themselves
That's,
by
that's
now?
for you to decide. Yeah.
I have my stuff.
I'm taking my stuff.
Yeah, I have my stuff here.
My stuff
go
is.
light.
I was ready to go when I put on my armor.
I think everybody got their stuff.
Okay, well then
well-
Argus is gonna grab the Tunicular and sling it over his shoulder and follow everyone out.
I say, wait a minute. What's the plan?
I'm
Valid
just following
question.
Hutar, I guess. I don't know.
I was gonna find Arizo. Then we can talk about it.
Yeah. The plan is currently find Arizo.
If it devolves, then we'll take a pause for plan.
Like I said, he's probably
That
just
sounds
downstairs.
like a bad idea.
I'm pretty sure I heard him go out. I mean, he's from around here anyway, right?
No,
Hmm.
No? What do you mean no?
isn't he from some other place? Like
the Shadowlands?
I thought he said he was from the Shadowlands.
it was Shadow something, but I don't know. We've been running into people who aren't from like here, and I don't mean Bilica, but like here. Like they're from other what do you call them? Realms? I think he's one of them.
He's a fugitive on trial for murder.
And that too.
Yes, so are you.
Oh.
No,
Ouch.
I'm not on trial.
Do you guys keep
Oh.
shouting this as you go down through the public area?
But yeah, but can I make that last perception check? Or I guess you tell me if it's a perception check, but I did want to like look around the room before we leave to make sure we're not
Yeah, I think that's
missing.
station. Yeah, go for it. Six. You guys got all your stuff, so
Cool.
cool. The as you guys go downstairs, you guys are talking about, oh, you're on trial, or you're on trial. Is anyone trying to
I think
be
that was in the room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And then
before
we
went.
went downstairs.
Okay, got it. Are we trying to be like stealthy, or as you goes down the stairs, is anyone trying to?
I don't want to go down the stairs until we know what we're doing.
Okay, I'm imagining you guys having this conversation now in the hallway, and you've already locked the door. So,
I've gone down the stairs, and I am being stealthy.
Okay.
I'm
Cool.
just going down the stairs.
Yeah, Argus is just kind of following. Although, now that he's learned that neon bands are a thing, he's got his waiter's smock kind of fashioned around his arm. I don't know, like a bandana or something like that.
I mean, I'm
Cool.
happy to just go. I want to basically just see if Arizo, there's any sign of Arizo in this building. And
Yeah,
I'm going to bring him back to the room.
you go
And if
down.
he's not, then we can talk about what
Yeah.
we're doing.
You start going downstairs. You look back at the four people in the party above you.
I'm following Hutar as well.
Was there a cat? Who knows? You can't see one. And the with that 24 stealth. Yeah, you go downstairs. It's a very small lobby. There's like a kind of the last floor of the stairs is a spiral staircase in one corner. This is Bunks and Trunks, the little hostel that you guys are there in. And at the opposite end of the room from the big front door, there is a little not quite bar, but like kind of secretarial desk of sorts with some open shelves behind and some storagey looking areas of sorts.
Do I see Arizo?
And you see a half orc secretary lady is kind of sitting there. And as you descend down the stairs, she kind of like looks up at you and like parts her like hair over her eye, and there's like her glasses are there, and she like looks at you and immediately blushes. And
Who is you?
Me, I am assuming.
confidently going down the stairs there. Yeah, Hutar, give me a perception check for this room.
And just to be clear, I've been following Hutar as
Yeah.
well.
15.
15.
Not at disadvantage.
With a 15, you notice basically it's a kind of rectangular room, right? And on one side is the big door to outside, on the other side is the secretarial desk. And in little like 6 little alcoves, 3 on each side, there seems to be little like booths to like sit down or just have a little chat or something. And there seems to be a couple people in one of them. But with the 15, you see a cloak, like cloak-ish up person, seems to be in one of the booths, with some papers, looking at them, strewn in front of them. But that
Right.
you know is Arizo there. Yeah.
I'll just sort of bumble over there. You know,
As you bumble over, with the rest of the party coming down the stairs, this half orc secretary lady is like, good omelette to you. Is there anything that you need? Are you checking out for the day?
no, I was just looking for my grandpa here. He likes to wander around.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're
Gets
checking out,
lost easy.
just let us know. We're always interested to know if you want to stay extra or anything. What is your room number, by the way? If you don't mind me asking.
Should I just show her the
Yeah,
or-
you show her the card. Oh,
yeah.
314. Okay. Oh, yes. Good. Okay. Sorry.
Good.
Doing my job here.
Hmm. All right. Well, hey,
Oh, wait.
Gramps.
And you
Yeah.
go over and talk to Arizo, but she hails Theo to come over to her. 314. Wait, is that right?
No, no. That's where we were.
Yeah. Sorry. This feels really unprofessional, but there was this like kind of crazy lady, this maybe Gith or something, older lady, but she came by. She seemed like she really didn't know what she was talking about, or maybe had some memory problems or something. I don't know. This is kind of stupid, but she dropped this. She like said that she had this envelope to like send to somebody here, but then she was also rambling about some Uniqua's secret compartment causing family drama or something, and um, he said something about mistaking this envelope to be addressed to herself, which was confusing because why would you send it? And then something, but I can't see any dress on it, and I don't know what to do. But apparently,
Does it say Theo on it?
uh, it doesn't say anything on it. But here, uh, I don't know. I don't need this. This is yours now. Sorry, I'm kind of new here.
Did
Also,
she say what her name was?
uh, I don't remember. I'm sorry. It was a couple hours ago.
That's okay.
Are you checking out, by the way? It looks to me
No.
opens a book. You guys still have about 12 hours under Udrig, right? Is that
Yeah, we may come back. We're just gonna go out for a stroll, probably, I think.
okay?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Cool. Well, if you don't give the key card back, your Eon band Udrig, I assume is your name. It'll automatically paid for the next day. Yeah.
Are we checking out? I turn to the group.
No.
Argus can be like, well, I mean, we don't want to overstay our welcome.
We're not gonna
But
come back in the next 12 hours, right?
Well, I
But
think
what
we're
if-
Well,
gonna.
maybe
what if
maybe we will. We'll come back by then and check out if we need to.
yeah. And what if our missing friend comes back?
Well, I found him. He's right here. I want
Let's
to get your
let's
stuff. We're gonna go upstairs and have a conversation first. Is what people want.
yeah, and then maybe we'll check out. I'll come back to you in a bit. Miss, what was your name again?
Oh, yes.
She's like, I don't know. It was a couple hours ago.
Oh, Miss Delilah. Yeah.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Delilah. We'll be back in
Hey.
a second.
What's your friend? The one with the big hat.
Oh, his name is Hutar.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'll be here.
I will let Hutar know that you are going to be here.
Thanks so much. Awesome. Cool.
Can I do a history check
Yeah.
on the name Delilah?
Yeah, go for it.
Get there.
12.
Well,
Delilah rhymes with a lot of things.
Wow.
all right. Cool.
Cool. You see when Hutar, when you like mentioned that Arizo might be around, you see this cloaked figure just kind of like stamps his foot a little bit and like
I didn't say Arizo.
yeah, but he like pets the booth slot next to him and kind of like just like subtly points to only you to like come over type of thing. But yeah.
I mean, everyone's like standing right there.
Yeah, I thought Hutar told everyone that we were going up to the room to talk.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I mean,
cool. Then he'll like I guess get the cue and you guys go back to the room. Is that true?
nah. Maybe we'll, yeah. Maybe we'll have this conversation later. Because I think we want to have this.
You see this this cloaked figure kind of like it's hard to tell what the form is or whatever, but you hear Arizo's voice come out and it's like, are we going to the adventuring guild then? I think
In a bit.
Okay. I've been looking through some of the evidence that we have acquired. Interesting. And I also, let's just say, I think I may have figured out a way to keep myself a little lower profile than before.
Oh, good.
Yes.
What's that?
Are we off?
Yes. Well, go back to the room.
Okay. We're gonna go back to the room. Yeah. Go.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Cool. You see as you get back into the room, Arizo takes the cloak off, and you see that he has he no longer looks the same as he's like got elven ears on, like half elven ears of sort,
Did he
and
shave all his hair off?
he's got sure he's a bald half elf, um uh has some
Argus is gonna recoil.
but he's wearing like a little his same little hat and things. He's got many of the same like clothing things that he had before, but he's kind of like shifted them around a little bit. But his actual skin color has changed, and he just no longer has fur anywhere or anything like that. And it just says,
Neat trick.
"I've let's just say I've found a way to make myself look less like my bounty
Posting.
poster might look like. But here, as he kind of like puts there's a main table on and puts some of the evidence. Iniko was nice enough to let me compile some of this evidence here. It's just some interesting threads that maybe you guys would want to know about. And so in your handout,
Before
yes,
we get into that,
mm-hmm.
I just want to, we've got a lot of disconnected, disparate pieces of people here that, for one way or another, have found themselves here.
Mm-hmm.
And, whatever your life may have been, and whatever state you are in now, you know, I myself am looking to start something of a crew, and am willing
Oh, me too.
and
I'd love
excited.
to have an adventurers party.
Well, I can sign you up if you want to join mine. And as part of my crew, I would be very much interested in helping each of you get to wherever you want to get. And together, I think we could accomplish a lot if you guys are interested.
Do you know how big parties or crews can be?
Are you back in the? Are we back in the room?
Yeah, we're back in the room.
Yeah, Argus, you would know that that the adventure parties that you've seen, because you've seen a lot of them around going to the drunken parties that they have, are maximum like 6 people in a party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there are
7 of us.
Yeah.
Well, there's 6. There's kind of 6 people. We also just.
That's true. We got
one of them's
7,
and then we have a
7, and we could get away with calling it 6 if it doesn't offend the cat person. We could slide it under the radar.
I don't know if I am looking for a adventuring party right now.
Oh, well, never mind.
Oh,
Well, I'm in.
Thaddeus, do we need to fix you up like Arizo here? I mean, I would imagine if his face is posted around town, yours is probably on its way.
Well, this only is a fix uh for me right now, but we don't need to talk details about that. But um, I'm sure Thaddeus, your legal extraordinaire, can figure out some way to weasel out of his, maybe.
Probably need to be careful.
Yeah.
However, what's a crew and what is why should we follow you and who the hell are you anyway?
oh, I'm something of a traveler. I've seen quite a bit, and I'll make sure that you're well taken care of.
Wait, you guys don't
Name
know this
name
guy?
one place you've traveled.
Well, kinda.
I've been all over the astral sea. Taken
What's the
the
Astral Sea?
What's the astral sea? And you're asking me what I've seen.
Look,
Astral
hey,
sea's
I'm
all
not the one.
around you.
I'm not the one claiming to have been all over. All around me. What are you talking about? I thought Bilica was all around me.
I've been from the outer planes to the outer rim, to and from, here and there, from asteroid belts to rust clouds, running runs all across we're all across the phlogiston winds.
Everybody give me a history check as he kind of spouts this glorious thing.
Continuing the theme of the session. Oh, an actual number was rolled. Oh!
Ah!
Crit.
Wow.
Argus, a great teller of tales.
Argus, for the first time, you hear something you do know. You know what the outer planes are. You know that your home realm talked about. You had one conversation with a cleric who came through, who talked about the outer realms being where he gets his divination powers from. Yeah. And interestingly, Mookhs, you've heard of these far out places being like, with the phlogiston winds pushing ships, to the outer reaches and beyond, and know that those are places out in the void. And there are several people in the gift conservation that think wistfully about having an existence out there in the void, and even like have little vacations out just to exist in the nothingness as a part of their kind of uh, spiritualism. And it's interesting that in this moment, Hutar has said this grand thing that both touches on someone from out of the world and from of the world at the same time. Cool.
Wait, so the Outer Planes, you said you've been there?
Yes, of course.
Like on vacation?
Oh, I've lived there.
Lived there. Have you ever gone beyond the Outer Planes?
And interesting, Iniko, you've never heard of the outer planes before.
Well, that there's much beyond the outer planes to see. That's why they call them the outer planes.
Because for the first time since I've been here, they're starting to make some sense.
I want to continue this conversation about adventuring, but I also I feel like we're ignoring, pardon my language, Argus, the elephant in the room here, which is that uh, we. How did you disappear, as Arizo? When did that happen?
Well, he was just downstairs.
Yeah, I was
I don't,
just.
I don't know. There was just some weird stuff going on. What happened last night? When did you leave?
There's always weird stuff going on.
Yeah. What he said.
That's
Theo, look, you
Arizo,
you
that's
of
very
all of
suspicious.
us,
Sus.
you of all of us, I'm sure was very, very tired. And you know, it's happened to me. It's happened to everyone. Sometimes when you're tired, you see stuff and it doesn't make any sense. You wake up in the morning, you realize it was night.
Yeah.
We love some
So
gaslighting.
it sounds like, for the most part, we've got a semblance of a crew here, except for you, Ted. I know you can be I understand that you're a bit suspicious. It seems like you had something good going on, and now you're in a bit of flux. But what do you say to this? I'm not holding you, so why don't you come with me for a bit? Try out the crew, and then you can make your decision once you've had your test run.
I had to give you a chance to lay low for a while.
Well, is this a criminal endeavor? I don't even understand what you want to do.
We just want to adventure. What the crew does is up to the crew.
Well,
If you're
We'll
part
go
of
to
it,
the
it will be
guild.
what you want.
We'll
who's
go to the guild.
leader
They'll
of
give
this
us
crew,
adventures.
and how do we survive, and what's payment? I don't understand
Leader.
at all.
Leader. I mean, that would probably have to be the one that's organizing everything together. I would think. The one wearing the hat in this situation. I should have adjusted my large hat. As a crew, I think it would make sense. Founding members here, whatever the crew gets, we split evenly.
Mm-hmm.
Thaddeus, you're a lawyer. You ever had like a crew contract or something?
I could write up a contract, but I need to know what we want as a group and what boundaries are.
Well, the first step on a crew would be to have a ship. There might need to be some pre-steps to the first step to acquire that ship. But, that's sort of the main step.
Oh.
I've never been on a ship before.
Well, then
That
we'll
sounds like
get to it. We'll obviously need some money to acquire said ship. So we might have to do some jobs and things. We were looking into this Adventurers Guild. Probably start there. That's what I'm thinking.
Argus is getting more and more on board.
What else are you looking for here, Ted? What else do you want to hear?
Well, if you need a ship, I don't have one, but I do know how to build them. I wouldn't mind helping you guys get launched, so to speak.
There
Oh
we
yeah,
go.
this cat builds ships.
Shipbuilding cat
I
person.
like the
Oh,
sound
yeah.
of that. So what do you say, Ted? Anything else you're looking for here?
I would like to clear my name.
Then we'll get on that. If you're a member of the crew, your needs are my needs.
Our
You have
I
many
would
needs.
prefer collective as opposed to crew.
If the name
Can we be a
suits
co-op?
your ears.
I like that.
Well, I sure do wish to get back on a ship. That would be great. I want to get out of here and.
So we're in.
But
that's one.
But we need to get a ship, and to get a
Yeah.
ship, we need.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Gems around here.
Those are the pre-steps to the first step.
No,
Get too ahead of ourselves here, but I'm down to go to the Adventuring Guild and figure out if there's a way to get money there and everything. But I don't know. There is some interesting leads here as well.
We'll look into it once we're all together. So what do you say, Ted? That sound good? The collective.
I think that's okay, but so far you've been barging around and not listening as opposed to a collective.
What do you want me to listen to,
I
Ted?
will. I told you to wait and have a plan before we left, and you barged out.
Well, I just went downstairs to grab Arizo to be part of the plan.
That didn't sound like what was happening at the time. You packed
Well,
up all your stuff, locked the door, and out you were.
I keep all my stuff on me at all times anyway. I'm a person that moves with the wind. But
Well,
He's
as
telling
part of
us
the
he's
crew, you want me to
wishy-washy.
wait? I'll wait.
all right. I think we need sustenance, and I think we need to know who is in our collective.
Sounds like a plan. Are you in, Ted? I pulled out my hand to shake yours.
I'll shake his hand, and I'll be like, but anyone can leave at any time. They're uncomfortable.
You're your own man.
Anything. Anyone with objections needs to be heard.
Ted, you're a
Argus,
lawyer, right?
I'll move to the next person. Argus, what do you say? You in?
Argus sparks a little trumpet sound in the air.
And I reach out my hand.
Argus reaches out his trunk.
I'll shake the trunk.
Argus blows snot in your face and grins.
I prestidigitation it off. I move Theo.
Absolutely. And as I'm shaking your hand, or actually after we shake hands, I'll say something. But yeah, I'm in. Of course, we've talked about it.
And then,
I turn to Tad. I'm like, "You're a lawyer, right?
Yes.
You should write up like rules or a contract for our group. Like we can have like a constitution."
if you want to. I feel like handshakes.
I fully plan to have everything in writing.
If you wish. I feel like handshakes are always good for me. But if you want a thing, you can make a thing.
We can. Next time we rest, we can get Tad to write up a report.
Muukhs.
I'm in. I reach my hand out readily.
I shake Mook's hand.
Well.
And I shake Arizo's hand. And the cat. You aren't in. You want to keep your options open. You plan to stay with us for a bit, though.
I can help you get a ship and get things together, but then I may have my own interests.
All right. That is what it is. Well, now we can get down to business.
Cool.
What did you had something, Arizo, to bring to light?
Yeah, no, I mean, just some interesting, there's some pretty fine evidence here I got from McLean's study. I know he meant a lot to you, Tad, but maybe a way to help you out would be to figure out what his last case was. I don't know, but anyways, here's all the stuff organized how I think it makes most sense. And then there's also all these which I can't read from something signed Igno Beard or something. But yeah, and he kind of plops down a bunch of papers which you can find in your folder. It's under the folder handout, and then from Defense Rest. There's two of them there.
Well, also, I just want to mention that when Theo went up to shake Hutar's hand, he was in the middle of looking at this envelope that he had gotten. He said, because he wasn't involved in a lot of that conversation because he was looking this over, and he sets it down to shake Hutar's hand.
Hutar you're very confused by him looking at this blank envelope that literally has nothing written on it. Um, yeah, but
Theo's a dreamer.
but Theo, you see in pretty big letters on it written is in like cursive is Theo, but the last letter is like a little smudged, and it's very like flamboyant letters a little bitish. And so it like could be Thea or Theo. You're not sure. But yeah. Cool. Well, maybe since Millie is sharing screen, she could open up these handouts and we could just read through them together here, just so that everyone has the same. So if we go to that third tab on the top there, and we go down to handouts, yep. And then
I'll be back in just a moment. I just need to use the restroom.
yeah, let's open up the Gallant Gollum one first. So this one's I can't read any of this dwarvish, gnomish, and elvish stuff here, but there's this picture of some sort of schematic of some kind. Yeah, I don't know. The other one's a little more interesting, but before we start, does anybody know dwarvish or gnomish or elvish or any of that?
Oh, I met some. I met a dwarf at the guild.
But Tad knows Elvish, and he's here right now.
Oh,
cool. Yeah. From the Elvish files, new information comes up as you see. See if it does it change? Does it auto change? No.
I think you have to close it and
reopen it. Close it, open it again.
Oh no, wait! No, it's there.
Oh, cool. Tad, you want to read what you learned from the Elvish side of things?
I don't know where to find that.
Well, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see it on the so the Elvish files say there's a report here from some company named Gallant Gollums. It's got some special trade security with another company named Jade Ray Tech. It's very legalese stuff that you find really easy to read. And it's interesting because you know that there have been wow, there's some spelling errors there. Sorry. You know that there have been some significant trade barriers made in the past few hexads between the Source Pact and the Lightbringers to kind of make them economically more distinct from each other, and there's a lot of tension there. But this is a contract creating a very easy way to create trade between these two companies, even though Gallant Gollums is a Source Pact company and Jade Ray Tech is a Lightbringer company. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. Yeah. You also know Jade Ray Tech is the mega supplier of Jade Ray weapons that have become pretty commonplace around Bilica and beyond. Yeah. So interesting. Cool. Well, there's more to learn there if we can get some other things translated. But this other one is easier to read. Maybe somebody can just read through what this is. Iniko, you want to do the honors?
Not really, but I can.
Someone else can do it.
All right, my dyslexic brain is like, read out loud to the class? What?
Someone else want to read through this?
Oh.
Yeah, Theo, go for
it. Before defensive order lawyer McLeenan was murdered in the fog scuffle at defense rest in this makeup case was stolen from his evidence desk alongside several documents strung up on his Everdrift corkboard. An investigatory sniff from an enhanced nose like that of Fellis reveals no whiff of magic off the small chest, but its bejeweled nature intrigued enough for it to be stolen just after McLeenan died.
Arizo says, I'll be keeping this chest here. It's let's just say, part of some of my newfound abilities to make myself less known. But the rest of this evidence here was also involved. Yeah.
A contract. So it looks like in the evidence there's a contract signed by McLean and Miss Fenway Jaeger, contracting McLean to prepare a legal defense for her against accusations of robbery by the Humtickers store and the Bizarre Bazaar. Does Theo know that store?
Yes. Yeah,
What?
that's a pretty hoity-toity store that sells clocks, like basically wristwatches that align with the gyrospheres. Yeah. Mhm.
So someone was stealing some fancy clocks, I guess. I don't know. Anyhow, a handwritten note that says Humticker employers claimed robbery to bystanders, but the company has not released what specifically was stolen. Um,
Now, they're talking about McLean being killed, but wasn't that document acquired before he was killed?
the chat, I think, were
No,
these papers?
it's just saying that written at the top is just like a note of where we got it that talks about him dying. The note doesn't reference him dying.
Oh, okay.
So there's also in here, it looks like a report to the from the Hall of Speakers of Miss, is that an M or an RN actually?
Fernway.
Fernway, okay.
Yeah.
Fernway Jaeger turning herself in, claiming innocence and that she had been framed. Upon hearing her name was tarnished by bizarre rumors, she trusted the law would find out who framed her. And then there's a handwritten note that says, "You got this, D.O. McLeanan. The others might think this case is pointless and too trivial to take on, but who knows? This could be your breakthrough to finally prove those racist." Sh-
I think
Show.
you just said assholes.
Oh, okay. uh, off the place. Shoot. Wrong about you. Uh, so maybe are they being racist to McLeanan or to Fernway Jaeger? I don't know. I guess McLeanan.
Tad, you would know that there's a lot of
They were racist
yeah,
to McLean and myself.
Yeah, okay.
Anyone who wasn't human.
or
That makes
yeah, anyone who was a monstrous race, which is interestingly defined, half orcs and half elves and other things are yeah,
hmm.
not part of that.
Then there's also a report from Lieutenant Vergus, who's a harmonium guard. And he looks like he compiled several eyewitness accounts from bystanders and bizarre enforcers. The accounts say that there was a woman fleeing the scene below the third floor, recently broken window at Humchickers. In her hurry, she ran over an unaware Dabus before linking away into the bustle of the bazaar. Huh?
Uh,
Oh, sorry. In intending to the is it Davis or Davis?
Dabus.
Davis. Tending to the Davis's wounds, one of Vergus's harmonium was able to get a sensory stone, according to the Davis emote. I already messed it up again. Davis. Wait, which is it?
Yeah, the Davis
Davis?
are the gray skinned creatures that can't really talk with the horns that kind of float a little bit, and they like emote emojis everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's different from the Zodars.
the Zodar is a singular creature that Theo would know kind of is a guardian of the Eon Bank that just floats around a little bit, is like made of uh, unobtainium and has never once spoken except for recently to say the Zodar prophecy. Yeah. Uh,
Uh, so there's a recording of illusory pictograms that show what the lady looked like, and the report says that this stone has been sent to the Hall of Speakers in the backroom evidence locker. Uh, and then there's a handwritten note saying that lingering change, find home, primeval. slash from the clarity of the navel. Not sure. Oh, this is a red.
Muukhs would know this intrinsically. This is a quote from Little Red Book.
Oh,
Yeah. That's
it's
just
a
been
quote from a Little Red Book.
yeah.
Oh. Ah.
And then
Do you know what it means, Mooks?
there's an arrow towards the quote with still handwritten next to it. Changeling interpretation? Question mark. Yeah.
Do you know what that quote means, Mooks?
Give me a history check with advantage.
Let me think about it. Roll the same thing.
Nice.
Has Argus heard of changelings?
I don't think Argus has heard of changelings. No.
Okay.
The though I guess you could roll a history check, Argus, if you really wanted to. At disadvantage. Yeah.
Or like they don't canonically exist in Argus's home world.
They may, but like changelings are pretty secretive, so you know.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool. With a history check, Polina, you actually have heard of the changeling interpretation of this. This is, I mean, you read through the Little Red Book a lot. You know that in the gift conservation from where you're from, you have, there's lots of more prominent interpretations there. And in this one is that there are rumors of these folk that can kind of shift form and things. And sometimes in other quotes, Red Book scholars have said that the Red Book kind of shifts words around. And so if you take lingering and changed and you switch them around, you get something that's kind of similar to changelings. And especially from your studies with Logos being a more of a biological intellectual, the concept of a creature that can shift its form is quite interesting. And some people believe it to be a more primeval type of creature or whatever. So there's some sort of something related to it potentially in this quote. And remember that the Little Red Book is firmly believed by the Gift Conservation to be prophecies of the future to come. So this is prophesizing something. Yeah.
I will convey all that information to to the mates.
What else is there?
There's a folder here of the transcribed notes of surface level info of bizarre robberies over the past hexads. It's titled "Unsolved Cases Where Stores Gave Up on Pursuit." Oh, do I find any in there from from Simber's Apothecary?
You quickly look through, and I think you do see Simber's Apothecary is on there, as well as the Summoner's Supreme Summons. But it's like connected. Yeah.
I'll probably note down somewhere what was stolen from those shops and when. Just take note of those.
This doesn't actually say what was stolen. It just
okay.
A quick list of places to potentially go to, I guess. I don't know why the list was, but yeah. Cool.
There's also this torn out page here. It's like printed on, I think. The corner's torn through, but in smaller font than the rest. I can kind of see it says by Gina Illy. The following portion of, and then the following portion of the center passage of dialogue is highlighted.
Theo, give me a history check on Gina Ely. $14.
Oops.
You have heard about Gina Ely from Argus as being an up and coming adventurer that he was kind of that was like about the same level, if not a little more than him, like competitive rivals slash friends type of thing.
Argus, do you know Gina Ely?
Never heard of
Or
him.
well, you told me about Gina.
Mook, give me a history check.
Okay.
Gina.
Okay.
You know that Gina Ely is a retired adventurer who writes semi-fiction, semi-nonfiction fantasy stories that are pretty popular. That
Mm.
that some people in the gift conservation don't like because it's like intentionally not factual, but but you've gotten your hands on a couple of them and they're pretty good. So yeah.
Gina, a writer with lots of stories that we've heard and we spread it. So
I guess that makes sense, Argus, with all the storytelling you do. You'll probably. I don't know how this works. Was it different?
plagiarism.
Well, I mean, stories are there to be told. What can I say?
Oh,
That's that's my whole goal is being part of this crew. I want to just collect a whole bunch of stories.
you just want to plagiarize.
Well, anyhow, there's this section from, I guess, one of her books or something, and it says, "Rare to see our wares bought in such cash, rare to see our wares bought in cash gins. Nice to see we appeal to foreign clientele. And what will the name be for the pocket gyro order, miss?" Shoot, in all the chaos of the last few encounters, I hadn't formulated a well thought alias. Respond immediately now. Non-suspicious people know their own names. Without breaking eye contact, I saw the decorative foliage behind the portly casher and preyed on silvered tones. Fern, Miss Fernway. Pleasure supporting your establishment. So, do we think? I guess does that mean that Miss Fernway was made up? But this is a story. Do we? Is the story about the robberies, or is are the robberies inspired by the story?
I don't know, but it's interesting. It got me through a couple hours that I was locked out of the room. Thank you. And but I know that adventuring type, more information the better. So maybe this can help us out somewhere in the future. I don't know.
Zero, have you ever seen a like smoky wolf before, Arizo?
Uh, don't know what you're talking about.
The
I think you
fuck?
and I need to have a conversation.
Maybe that can happen when he's actually here to play the game. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. Well, does anybody else have anything evidency that they got or anything like that? Papery.
What? I've got
I
this
have
envelope.
I have this, and I pull out a vial that has some dust in it still that may or may not contain elemental dust stuff.
Oh, from earlier this session?
Yeah,
Wait, no,
or,
that
or
was not you.
from
It was last
yesterday.
session.
Oh, where did you take this? Where did you get it?
When we were fleeing, or not when we were fleeing, when we got there, I scooped I scooped the vial through the cloud. Um,
Oh,
no, it was through the elemental guy that I killed. I scooped the vial and capped it, and you said, I don't know if it was successful, but
got it.
there's dust in the vial.
Yeah, Theo, give me an alchemist tools check.
Jeez.
Yeah. You get the sense that whatever this is some weird thing that could be used as a reagent.
Yeah, it says I have in my notes glass bottle of method elemental.
Yeah. You think this could be pretty helpful to you if you were able to like analyze and figure out what the alchemical properties were. You could make something out of it, maybe.
I might be able to, I learned a thing or two from that work from my mom's store. I could maybe make this into something if you want me to.
Uh, sure, have it.
All right,
And I give it to him.
thanks. Uh,
Cool.
I,
Um,
also, just FYI, Zach, I do have to leave
yeah,
in
you have
5
to
minutes.
go. I know.
I was gonna say I want to grab dinner sometime soon too.
Yeah. Well,
Might be a good closing.
we got a direction here. We're getting close to going. So maybe when we like head off to, it seems like everyone's trying to go to the adventuring guild. Is that true?
Yeah.
We can end the session there. But let's just see if there's any other lingering things people want to talk about. Just for the sake of ease, with that 21, this is a reagent, a vial of phlogiston,
What?
effectively. So you can put that in your inventory, but that's
Sweet.
got a listing of what it can be used for on the things. Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I have something. I was working on the Zodar trial, and we were presenting evidence, and I was defender of the Lightbringer, and he described something that seems to be similar to people here, where they changed into an element. And
it does seem there's other elemental pathfinders, if you will, besides those that we have here.
it seems to the prophecy in the Little Red Book, which I've never really studied and don't know much about. But if anyone knows anything more, that might be of relevance.
Would I know anything more?
Yeah, actually, Millie's got it right there. We could pull up the Zodar prophecy on the side.
Yeah.
There and just read through that pretty quick.
Let me make it readable.
Yeah, Belina, why don't you read the Zodar's prophecy? You would know this one. It's all the buzz. Actually, I don't know if you would know that it was all the buzz though because of things, but you've heard that something has happened with this passage that didn't really have knowledge about it before. Yeah.
This thing again. This was so boring.
What?
This was covered extensively in the trial that we sat through. And Argus was very bored.
Gotcha. Would I recite this from memory, or is this the paper that?
Yeah, you can recite it from memory if you want. Yeah.
Would I know that from memory? I guess I would.
Yeah, you would.
Oh, the nursery rhyme? Once elemental path, finder's wreath aftershock, flog fisher's astral bequeath, and gates outside blankets, cure beneath weave frayed, plagued pasts will finally sheath.
Wow. Yeah. Well,
it's one of my favorite nursery rhymes.
I call that.
Oh, it's a nursery rhyme?
No.
You're telling me I sat through 4 hours of back and forth for a nursery rhyme? Oh my goodness.
Muukhs, you probably have the Little Red Book on you, I assume.
So, yeah, I was trying to look through my inventory. I don't know if I just didn't see it or what.
I think you've got one. Find it. But yeah, so you can even just crack it open.
Oh, I do. And it weighs 0.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Ounces. What is this?
Cool. So, well, Arizo here. I honestly think all these prophecies are a little bullshit, but yeah, I don't know. So, just laying everything out on the table here. Let's get going then, I guess.
You might think that the prophecies are bullshit, but maybe you haven't read the interpretations that resonate with you.
Sure.
Thought. Food for thought. How about that?
Asa, do you want to share your little envelope at all, or are you gonna keep that?
I would like to, but also is it gonna be a long thing? Because it is 1 hour, 1 o'clock.
No, it's not gonna be that long. I'm
Then
just
I
trying
would love to.
up so that we can end the session. So if you want,
I would love to open it. Yeah, I've been eager to.
okay, yeah, you as everyone else is kind of like getting ready to leave, you like take a moment yourself to like look this envelope over. Yeah, you open it up, and there's a smaller envelope inside it. Yeah, and what does it say? Come. Oh, let's see if I can add that to there. Cool. And inside this there's this smaller envelope on it, which has a little more of the same cursive-y writing on it. So now you got two envelopes. And it's obvious that there's some sort of cylindrical bulge inside this smaller envelope. But the writing on it says, warning, only open in private and with access to the modify memory spell.
Oh. So Theo reads that, looks up at everybody, closes it slowly, and then just pockets it and doesn't say anything.
Cool.
Never mind.
Does anybody else try and see what he was doing as he's opening this envelope that was given to him? Yeah.
Like a perception check or something.
Investigation. Yeah.
Investigation, yeah. Let me find it.
I'll probably just go. Everything all right, Theo?
Yeah, it's all good.
All right.
Ethan, can you give me an investigation too? Just blanket investigation.
I could. I feel like if Theo says he's all right, I think I'd just take that.
Okay.
Move on. But
Same with Argus.
This big envelope you've got, that Asa's got doesn't say anything on it. It's completely blank. Yeah. And he's opened it and then pocketed something. And yeah.
Oh, to be clear, I've the bigger envelope, I've like folded it back. I know it's not sealed, but the little envelope is still in the big envelope and then in my pocket.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hutar is also nothing on this big envelope at all. Yeah.
Theo says he's fine. It's probably fine.
It's not, I don't think it's anything to worry about. Maybe I'll talk about it later, but
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome.
Well, then let's go.
Let's go. Are you guys officially you're leaving?
We're
Okay.
leaving.
We are a crew or party or co-op or something to be contractually obligated or not at a later date as drafted by Thaddeus.
There we
When
go.
you have a
Signed-
lawyer, you might as
And
well use
signed
it.
by us.
Well, as you guys leave out into the streets of the Adventuring Guild neighborhood, it is very easy to know where the Adventuring Guild Hall is because the biggest edifice in this whole area, and a lot of the streets like lead to it. But there's bustling streets all over, and we will. You guys enter into the streets and keep walking towards the adventuring hall, and we will see what happens there next time. Awesome. Cool. I think that's a good place for us to end the session there. We had a whole adventure all in one building without ever Cool.
So I'll try and do that.
Yeah, we'll talk about how you disguise yourself.
He has proficiency. He just got proficiency in disguise kits. So.
Okay. do you have a disguise kit with you, or have you bought one of those yet?
No.
Okay, well, the Bazaar is right nearby. You could make a little pit stop there before going to the Adventuring Guild. It's a little out of the way, but if you wanted to buy a disguise kit.
I
might
don't
be a
know
good
if
thing
I
to
have
do.
money or not.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next
I
time.
could spot you.
Awesome.
All right.
Cool.
And